Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello, hello. Say hi in chat
Hello.
Hi. It's
or
nice
in
to see
person.
some familiar faces.
Hi.
Hello. And it's wonderful to see some new faces as well. Just giving everybody a minute or two to join. Hello. I love when you guys are waving.
Hello.
Feels very activating already. Hi. Yeah, let us know where you are calling from, where you're dialing from, or at this point, I guess, connecting, pressing the button from, let us know. Always fun. Hi, Amy. Chicago, Brazil. I love it. We are global. That's fantastic. Sweden, Germany, all over. Wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm going to start sharing my screen. Just 1 second. Let me know if you can see the slides. You can nod or you can just drop me something in chat. You can give me a plus sign or a thumbs up.
Yeah, we can see
Oh.
it.
Fantastic.
now I can see myself again. Oops, what happened to my video? Mute.
All right, we're going to be getting going in just a moment here. People are still joining.
Yeah, let's give it a couple of, maybe a minute or two. And then I'm gonna meet you all guys, including myself.
Mute, yeah.
So Mariya can begin, yeah. Or you can mute yourself. So we'll keep all conversations in chat for now.
I just can't see myself again. What happened?
Yeah, Finland, Sedona. Sedona is beautiful. Love Sedona. Hope to get out there this year. It would be fantastic. Romania, California, fantastic. All right. Well, we have a big agenda today, so I think we should probably get going. We should probably get started. Hello, everyone. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get going. Welcome to circle number 2. This is the second one I'm doing ever. Feels just as good as the first one, only better because we get to activate our etheric wings today. So thank you all for joining. This is a very special, very lighthearted circle. The first one,
I'm not able to see the video. I'm sorry.
Sergey, I'm not sure if
it says done speaking. Save drive mode, leave. Oh, okay. No.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it should be the same video for everybody. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, so it's this is going to be a very lighthearted circle. The first one was we went into the shadow, we healed the witch wound. If you were here last time, big virtual hug to you. You are very special, and thank you for making to both of these. If you are just attending this first one with me, this is going to be a very, very sacred space that we share together, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, I wanted to introduce you all guys to Sergey. He is my co-host on this. He's also my husband, my partner in crime in everything that we do. He is the one behind the camera when I shoot my videos. And yeah, he's honestly the brain behind the operation. So he is going to be helping me today. You know, he is our tech support. He is going to make sure people are admitted in the waiting room. And he's also going to be the one picking questions towards the end. So Sergey, I don't know if you want to just say a couple of words.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. Super excited about this event. And yeah, if you have any questions, and send them in chat, so I'll try to address any issues you guys have. But yeah, I think we can start. One thing before we begin, I see a couple of people are not muted, so I'm going to click on the button mute all. So it's going to mute everybody. And then Mariya, you'll have to unmute yourself so we can continue. Yeah. So I'm clicking right now. Yeah. Now, Mariya, you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you for muting me, Sergey. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're back. You guys all know what the agenda for today is. You know at least what the topic is for today. I like to start these off with a little bit of the background information. So first, we're going to dive into what the wings are, what you should know about them. There is very little information out there about the etheric wings, and it is a shame. I myself have been looking just to see what's out there, and there's like literally almost nothing. So we're starting from scratch, I believe. Outside of probably, hopefully you watch some of my content on etheric wings. I think I did 1 or 2 videos, but is also very bare bones up until this moment. And in this workshop, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. And then really the crux of the program is the circle itself, which is the healing portion, which is where we're going to go into the activation. We're going to look at whatever blocks you may have, whatever is blocking your wings. And then we're going to get through all of that together. And towards the end, there is going to be the Q&A portion where you could ask me the questions if you had, anything you really wanted to ask about. So we're going to get there towards the end. I will probably do a really, really quick break for like 5 minutes, somewhere in the middle here, just because I know it's hard for some of you to sit through for this long. And that's really the agenda for today. I hope this makes sense. And without further ado, I'm really, really excited to get started. I wanted to say one thing. Some of you may be wondering, and this is like this kind of like this little question, like a little buzzing in the collective that I'm sensing. And the question is, hey, can anybody open their wings? Is this really possible for everybody? Is it just some special people that can do that? The answer is, for everybody who is joining the circle, it is possible. Specifically, as I was working with my guides, as we were gathering the tribe for this, I've asked them to make sure that everybody who joins is somebody who can open their wings during the session. So you all are going to get the result today. So that's the good news. The broader question around can everybody open their wings is a little bit more complicated, because the strict answer is yes, if your higher self is willing to participate in the endeavor. Your etheric wings, like the rest of your etheric body, is donated by your higher self. So if your higher self wants to activate your wings, it can do so. And that's where I draw the line, right? So it's up to the higher self. Technically, it's possible for everybody. Will that actually happen in a lifetime? Most likely not, because most people are not even connected to their higher self. So that is the answer to that collective question that you're not asking, but enough of you are thinking. And interestingly enough, just one other pointer on this. About 30% of you already have your wings activated. So I appreciate that you still joined. This is going to be relevant to you for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is we're going to dive into how to work with your wings. So activation is step 1. What happens after is the journey. And I'm, really glad that I get to walk you through the after. And also in this deck that I'm sharing today towards the end, there are 5 practices. And these practices are all about how you work with your wings, how you further activate them, how you can use them for various different things in your life. So that is also it's for everybody, but really for somebody who's already had their wings activated. That is the next step in how to go deeper. And the second point here as well, even if you have your wings activated, some of you are meant to get a second pair today, or a third. There's literally like one person that has multiple wings activated that is meant to get like even an extra pair. Now, you may be aware that your wings are activated or not, and hopefully everybody's going to get aware today. You're going to get a lot more awareness into that part of your body. The reason some people get multiple sets of wings is because they're in a bigger mission and you need more energy from your higher self. And through that concept of etheric wings, your body is enabled to get there and to do so. to get access to more of the energy of your higher self. So some of you may get the second pair of wings or even a third. So that's super exciting for me. How would we know if we already activated? As we're going through the activation today, once you start getting present to your wings or the part of your body that is the activation point, I'm going to talk about it later. If you already see that your wings are out, right? So like some of you are going to feel like your wings are just coming out of your back. And if your wings are already out, you're going to see your wings fully out. If your wings are fully out, you're still meant to get something out of this activation, and most likely you're going to get a second pair of wings to be birthed today. So that is the answer to the question. All right. Now, this is a circle, right? So we're doing essentially a collective energy practice. And despite the fact that this is a very lighthearted activation, we're going to be tapping into very light energies today. We're going to go into a little bit of shadow and blocks, but all things considered, as I look at the many circles that I will host over the years, this is on the lighter end. So not quite as much protection is needed, but some is still needed. So if you have prepared, some sage or Palo Santo or mugwort or whatever you guys are burning, now would be the time to do so if you want to do some smudging. I'm going to light up mine as well. And this is like the physical part. Obviously, the physical part of protection is about like 2% of what we're going to do today in terms of protection. But I still like to do it. It's a little ritual. So if you want to join me, it's going to be wonderful. So when you're smudging, when you're doing you see I'm doing this rotation motion. When you're rotating counterclockwise, it really helps you clear kind of like the past, everything on this timeline from the past and everything that is stuck in your energy field as well as your vicinity from the past happening. And then when you're doing the clockwise movement, it almost like cleanses the future. So anything that's going to happen in the next 2 hours, you can kind of almost cleanse the future. And that is the beauty of the spiral. The spiral really is one of those shapes or sacred geometric shapes that really helps transcend timelines. It's connected to the Divine Mother. All right, so that's that. If you guys have a candle and you want to light up a candle, that's totally fantastic as well. I have mine lit up. I can I can show you. That's my candle. The fire is always very cleansing and it's activating. There's a lot of fire in my auric field, so I always work with the fire elementals. I have my personal fire elemental that always works in my candles. So if you don't have one, you probably do. If you don't have your personal fire elemental, you probably do. If you've been burning candles, you just have to meet them. And ask them what their name is, and they'll tell you all about it. All right, so that was the physical part of the energy protection. And now if I may ask you to really briefly close your eyes for me, we're going to do the energy protection as well. And I would like for you to imagine that there is a dome of white light literally above your head. And this dome is sealing you inside. So you cannot really get out of it, so to say, from the bottom. It's sealed from the bottom. And it's a very safe dome. It's a very secure space. The shape of the dome is the shape of the Divine Mother. So we are calling in on the female face of Source, essentially, to help us sealed in and protected for this ritual, for this activation, for the circle. We ask the Mother to share with us her gentle love, her protection, and almost cloak us. We ask her to cloak us with her own feather wings, because she does have many pairs of wings. And she's lovingly covering the top of our dome with many white feathers. And then the bottom of the dome as well, with many white feathers, sealing us in this very beautiful sacred space. Then I also want you to imagine that as we are, as each of you are inside of your individual dome, we're all collectively inside of an even bigger dome that connects all of us regardless of where we are in the world, regardless of who we are. And this larger dome is also courtesy of Source energy, and this is a protective dome, and its color is golden. So you have your individual dome that is white, and we have our collective dome that is golden. And that golden dome is not only protective, it is also extremely activating. And what it wants to do today is energize you and give you the right level of energy so you can go through this activation. And so it starts sending you this golden specks of light, golden light, straight towards your aura, straight towards your body. And so just allow yourself to receive that light so that it can start working in the background, preparing your auric field, preparing all of your chakras for this activation that we're going to have today. Adjusting whatever it needs to adjust. Allow this golden light to just stream inside of you, along your spinal column. And just slightly adjusting the chakras. Some chakras need to move towards center. Some of the chakras are misaligned, so they're slightly to the left or to the right. So just imagine that all of your chakras are coming back to center, and you may even check with yourself really quickly. Just make sure that your crown is straight on the central axis of your body, located along your spine. And then your third eye chakra in the middle of your forehead is also in the very, very center. And then make sure going down that your throat chakra is located in the very, very center. And then going down, your higher heart, which is your thymus gland located between your collarbones, that is also located in the very center. So align it to the center if it ran away to the left or to the right. And then going down a little bit and going down to your heart space and letting your heart space to also adjust to the very center. And going down, making sure that your solar plexus is to the very, very center. Then going down, your sacral, your orange, is to the very center of your body. And then finally, your red, the ruby red root chakra is to the very center and aligned. And now you're able to receive even more of that gilded light from the golden dome. And just allow yourself to receive and be saturated with that energy. Soak it up like a sponge and notice how your aura is becoming golden. And know that this golden energy is both protective and activating, so it serves a dual purpose. And now we're going to ask all of you spirit guides that want to be here for the session as protectors to make themselves known. And if your personal spirit guides want to place any other protection on you, whatever that may look like, whether that is a shape or a set of armor or anything else, allow them to do so in this moment. Whatever they're doing is in your highest good. So just receive. And now we are ready to open our circle. Activations are so much better together. They're so much more powerful together. When we all come and join as a group with one collective mission of inviting more light into our bodies, which is the activation of etheric wings, essentially is that. It's inviting more light into our bodies. It's stepping onto our path fully as well. So when we choose to do that as a group, our intentions are amplified, our energies are amplified, and it is so much easier actually to go through an activation as a group as it is on your own. And so I invite you to imagine that you are standing in a big, big circle. And we're going to imagine that today we're standing somewhere in the forest. And you're barefoot and you're standing on the grass. And all of these wonderful people that want to activate their wings today also just like you are right here with you. I am here with you. And so we are coming into a circle. And we're joining our hands. And I want you to feel how, as you are joining your hands with the people who are around you, it is like an electric spark is starting to connect us all. And this electric spark is starting to travel in a circular fashion from one person to another, activating our hearts. And as this spark is activating our hearts, we are all starting to shine with emerald light. We are all becoming emerald pillars of light, sharing love, emanating love, receiving love, being love. And so this spark that is connecting is traveling and completing the circle. And then we collectively become a pillar of emerald light, a pillar of magnetism that is going to attract only the best things towards itself, towards each and every one of you. Now I'd like you to imagine that there is a person to your left. And that person to your left is not random. They have been placed here by the universe today. And the person to your left is meant to share something with you, like a gift or a present or whatever that is, an object. So receive that object from them. And you may also inquire, Spirit, what is the significance of this object? What is the deeper meaning and why you need that object today? And accept that object freely into your heart space, knowing that this object is meant to be with you, that you're meant to have it, that this object is going to serve you in the way that it is meant to serve you. That is your collective gift around the circle. And now also imagine and know that you are meant to gift something to the person to your right. So whoever is on your right, and you don't even need to know who that person is, but know that the universe wants to pass something through you to that person. What is it that you're meant to give to that person? It could be an object, anything really, a shape, a color, whatever you feel to give in the moment. Just give that to the person on your right and see how they receive it. And they understand the significance of this object. And they're so grateful. And they're placing that object inside of their heart space. And their auric field shifts and changes. Their auric field starts to glow differently. And you know that in this moment they are receiving the healing that they're meant to receive and the activation that they came here for. And know that in this circle you're safe, that this is a safe space. You are among your brothers and sisters. We are a large family, connected by a dream, connected by a shared vibration and the frequency of love. And now I want you to imagine that your higher self is choosing to portal into the middle of the circle. For this activation, we are going to be tapping into the power of your higher self. And they have given their permission and acceptance to do that prior to this workshop. In fact, they have been eagerly awaiting this workshop. So imagine that your higher self is portaling into the very middle of the circle. And you're noticing that not only your higher self is doing so, but everybody else's higher selves is doing so. So we have so many higher selves in the very middle of our circle. So much beautiful, powerful light. And as our higher selves are looking at each other, there is so much recognition. There are a lot of hugs. Some of them have tears in their eyes because it is very special to be connected in this way. Yes, of course, they are connected up there, but for them to come into our dimension and still experience this level of unity, that is special. That is unique. And watch how our higher selves are also gathering in a little circle and they're joining their hands, only they're facing us. So their circle is facing us. So we can see their faces. And in the very middle of their circle, there is a spiral of white light. There is this movement that is created. And this movement, it's almost like a wind of change is coming. And we're starting to feel it. And through the spiral, we're almost like feeling the air coming off of the spiral of the wind of change. And we're accepting it. And that wind is blowing away anything and everything that may be in the way of you receiving this activation today. This wind is here to cleanse you. This wind is here to empower you. This wind is here to take away anything that is no longer serving you, anything that is no longer needed. So allow this wind of change to do the work that it came here to do in your auric field. Allow it to remove any of the stuck thoughts and feelings, anything that is extra, that is not needed. And we want to thank our higher selves as a group for creating this wind of change for us. So we can have a very gentle but powerful activation today. So everything is easy for us. There are no impediments. So we can receive what we came here to receive. And now I want you to imagine that there is an outer circle forming outside of our circle. And this outer circle is the circle of all of your ancestors that want to be here with us today, fortifying our circle. Whoever from your ancestry line wants to be present for this. Because it is a notable moment for a lineage when somebody activates their etheric wings. It is rare and it is beautiful, and they want to see it and they want to witness it. So allow your ancestors that want to join in today. And watch as our ancestors are joining in a big collective circle. And feel the power and the love that they're sending you. Feel how you are becoming both lighter and stronger with their support. Look how many of them chose to show up. It is beautiful. And so your ancestors want to pave the way for this activation today. And so they're coming up to you. And they're placing their hands on your back, however many hands there are. And if there are too many, it's okay. Just, they can touch you with a finger. So see and witness and notice. Sense how they're placing their many hands on your back. And they're sending you a stream of energy. It's going to be a particular color unique to you. And they believe that that is the color of energy that you need in order to be activated today. There is a place in your body where this color needs to go. So accept it where it needs to go. It's almost like it knows where it needs to go. It's almost like there's like a pocket of empty space somewhere in you for that color, for that energy to go into. And so let it. Allow yourself to receive that energy from your ancestors. Storing it for later, for the activation, but also allowing this energy to do whatever it needs to do in your body, filling in whatever gaps it needs to fill, healing whatever little fissures and cracks it needs to heal, whatever it needs to do. Let it. And finally, we're going to ask all of our angelics to be with us today. after all, it's a wing activation, so might as well. We have a lot of the archangels here with us. We have Archangel Michael, we have Archangel Uriel. We have Archangel Raphael. We have many archaeas as well, the female archangels. We have so many angels as well. All of the ones that are working with you. Allow them to create a master circle, the outer circle, the outermost circle of all. And watch how they all are holding hands. And there is a pyramid of white light that is built through the vibrations and the emanations of our angelics. And that pyramid is coming over our master circles. It's a huge pyramid. And it is going to be here to help amplify our energies. That's why the pyramid has the tip up top. It's going to help amplify and focus our energies so we can get a transmission from the highest of realms so we can complete our activation today. And with this, I consider our circle opened. Feel free to take a deep breath and open your eyes. Ooh, wow, this already feels so much lighter and it just already feels so good. Oh my God, you guys. I don't know what you're feeling. I am definitely not in this dimension at this point. And we haven't even gotten to the activation. This is just the opening of the circle. We're not even activated yet. Okay. Now we need to, I worry almost like bringing you down with all the knowledge now, because we now need to get into a little bit of the theory behind the wings and like the lore behind the wings, right? But well, we're going to receive it in this state, then there's nothing to prevent us from receiving the information in this heightened state. So the why, for me, the why is very important. I'm very deliberate when I'm picking the topic for the circle. It has to be a calling for me. Every circle is a calling. So why is this one calling? Like why etheric wings? You know, it's the second workshop that I'm doing. Like why this topic? There are a lot of souls that have come to planet Earth right now with big missions, with important paths, and the intention for these souls is to activate their wings and like not just their wings, but to be fully activated for the work that they have to do here. And given that there's not a lot of information here on Earth that, you know, unless these wings are able to come out by themselves, it's really hard for these souls to be fully actualized. And so I wanted to host this workshop using kind of like my channeling abilities as well, to start shedding the light on this lesser known part of our etheric body so that these souls can fully step on the path. And a lot of you are, you know, a lot of you are the very souls that, you know, I want to help. And so etheric wings are a very important, they're beautiful. They are an intrinsic part of your energy body on your process of ascension or evolution, however you want to think about it. And once they come out, it's like there is the before and after. And energetically, you are a whole other being. Energetically, you're completely different. You're a lot more empowered to do what you came here to do. You're a lot more empowered to receive. You're a lot more empowered to shift things and shift your life circumstances. And just honestly to live a more fulfilled life, whatever that looks like for you. So wings are an enabler. They're something that really paves the way for the rest of your spiritual journey. I think of them as the first domino. And, you know, we're going to make that first domino fall in the best possible way today. Take that as a positive analogy. So that's the why for me. I really wanted to help activate you guys. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, because for me, I also, outside of the activation and this beautiful, space that we're going to be in, I also want you to walk away with some specific knowledge that you can hold on to about how this thing works, because they're so ephemeral, these wings. That's why they're really, really hard to describe. And so like today, I'm going to provide just a little bit of that foundation and background that hopefully you can use for many years to come. So etheric body, right? This is our second body. So your innermost body obviously is the physical. The next one over is the etheric body. The etheric body has a lot of things. Like it consists of a lot of things. It has like a number of components. First and foremost, sorry, I'm just going to try to move the chat here. Oh my gosh, navigating my own slides is like an issue. Anyway, so the most important part, or the outermost part of your etheric body, is what I call the egg. It looks like the egg, really energetically. It looks like the egg. Some people are going to call it the toroidal field because it's an egg with the central axis. That's why I have this image here. Like it has like a central axis also that goes through the central well, essentially the central nervous system, right? So your spinal cord. So essentially it's like an egg with a stick in the middle. Pardon my language, but I really want to be like super, super clear here. The reason people call it the toroidal field is because there's so much energy that goes through that main axis, that central axis, that it looks like the egg is squished. Because the energy creates like the ripple effect, almost like kind of like, on the water when you throw a pebble, there is like the ripple effect. So a little bit like that. That's why there is the fancy way to look at the etheric body. But really what it is it's an energetic egg. You get one when you are born, and then you're going to keep it for the rest of your life. Now, it doesn't mean that your egg, so to say, your etheric body stays in the same exact state. The more you meditate, the more you do practices, things like yoga, the more intentional you are, the more you do shadow work, etc., etc., etc. Your egg, not only does it become larger, it also grows new pathways. It's almost like the analogy with the neurons, like in our we're building, like, as we're learning things in the human body, we're building new neurological pathways in the brain, right? So not every brain is created equal in the same way that not every etheric body is created equal. So what are the other things that are present in your etheric body? Of course, the chakras, and it's not just the major 7. It's the major and the minor and everything in between. There are over 200,000 different chakras in your body. I know, some people are going to say, no, it's 144,000. There are more now. Literally, there are all of these minor and major parts of your body that are like little energy highways. So your etheric body contains your chakras. Your etheric body contains the meridians and the energy pathways that connect the chakras, right? So think of the chakras almost as like cities on the map. And then roads between the cities would be the meridians. Your wings are a part of your etheric body as well. However many you have, whatever they look like. I put in things in here as well, like all of your main energy archetypes and karmic knots and past life influences are also partially in your energy body. But it's not like they're sitting there in parcels or like big chests. What they're doing is they're informing the grid and the energy pathways as well. It's almost like they are helping create a pattern, the visual pattern of your etheric body, right? And so depending on which archetypes you carry, and most of us come with 3 to 5 very major energy archetypes, those archetypes are a certain way that the energy flows in your body, and that is going to be encapsulated in the pattern of your etheric body. So essentially, we all have a different tapestry of light that we wear in a shape of an egg. And, both our energy archetypes, the karmic knots that we came to deal, or, here to transcend any of the past life influences, would be informing that pattern and that tapestry, that picture, so to say, that we're wearing in our bodies. Also part of your etheric body construction are the totem objects and creatures. What are totem objects? These are the things that you usually get from your lineage. So there are totem, call it totem animals, totem birds, totem plants. And then there are spirit animals, spirit plants, etc. Spirit are something that like your higher self gives you, like spirit animals, etc., spirit objects. Totems are the ones that your lineage gives you. all of them, irrespective of what they're called, live here in the etheric body. And then also your energy artifacts live here as well. Things like amulets, different objects, depending on who you are, depending on the lives that you lived. Very often, and I don't know how many meditations you guys have done with me. If you've meditated with me on our sacred universe, very often in a meditation, there would be a part where somebody like is supposed to give you an object, somebody's passing you something, and you're starting to collect these objects. And they seem random in the moment, like, oh, somebody gave you the shoes, or somebody gave you the cloak, or somebody gave you the crown, or whatever it is. And you're like, okay, well, why do I need that? And usually you're being told in the moment why you need it. But the funny part is all of these objects remain with you for the rest of your incarnation in your auric field. You don't know that, but they're stored in your etheric body. And so I guess where I'm going with this is no meditation is wasted. It truly isn't, because your body, it has such phenomenal memory that it's going to remember every single spiritual experience that you've had, whether you remember that experience or you don't, even if it was in the astral, like wherever it was, even if it was in a dreamscape, even if you were on, I don't know, under a psychedelic, it doesn't really matter. Like your body is still going to remember it. And very often these memories are gathered in the forms of objects in your etheric body. And all of these objects are making you stronger, they're making you bigger, they're making you more powerful. And then there could be other etheric extensions as well, energy extensions, depending on who you are. Some people have airplanes in their auric fields, maybe because they were like an airplane pilot way back when, and that's like an important skill for them to have, and it enables them to make like in the moment quick decisions. So like I've seen all kinds of interesting objects in people's auric fields. But I guess where I'm going with this is your etheric body is a very rich construct, and we don't really think about it that way. We usually like, oh, so there is this nebulous thing called the aura, and it has like a particular color, and God knows, why it's created that way. It's just by emanation. But really, I think like we're almost like underrepresenting the etheric body because it's such a rich territory, and that's why I wanted to create the slide. It's really rich territory, and wings is just like an aspect of it. Okay, so the wings unveiled. No two wings are the same. No two pairs of wings are the same. Just 1 second, you guys. Just trying to move this thing around, and I'm failing. Okay. So no two wings are the same. So whatever you are going to be activating today may be very different compared to what somebody else is activating. Your wings can look like the wings of an angel. They can look like the wings of a bird. They can look like the wings of the butterfly, the wings of a fairy, the wings of the dragon. They can look mechanical. Your wings can look like they're made of sacred geometrical symbols. Your wings may look like they are made of not like bolts and something that's super, I don't know, like techie, or something from, I don't know, like they can actually be even made of other animals. What they're showing me is somebody is going to have wings made of dragonflies, and it's like dragonflies are like sitting in the pattern almost. So I guess like what I would like for you to do is just have an open mind. Like what I'm showing here on the slide even is, the more angelic wings or bird-like, if you will. But it's not, yours can be completely different. Yours can be a completely different color. And so just be open and don't judge your wings. Don't judge them for their size. Don't judge them for their color. Just know that yours are unique and special to you, and whatever shows up for you is yours, and you're meant to have it for the journey that you're on. Like I said, you may have more than one pair. And it's also, the more you go through your evolution and the more you do the work, the more you dive into spirituality, you're going to notice that more and more things want to be birthed in your etheric body. Like I said, the wings are just the beginning. Through the same activation portal, through the same activation point that we're going to be working with today to birth your wings, a lot of other things may need to come out for you to be fully embodied, right? And what I mean by fully embodied, think of it's like when you come into incarnation, a big chunk, most of your energy goes into your physical body, but there could be other things that your higher self sent And they're almost energetically, they're like untapped and almost like around you. They're floating around you, but they're not in you. So once you activate something you're meant to activate, these aspects come out from their dormant state into the active state, and you become more of you. You become more embodied. There is more energy of your higher self in your body. That makes sense. Okay, your primary wing pair, usually like most of you are going to activate your primary wing pair today. That is your wing pair that is the closest to your physical body, like the closest, like that, the innermost layer. Everything else that you're going to activate afterwards is going to be a layer down the road, right? So like it's going to be further removed from your body. The color and shape of your wings matters. So whatever shows up for you in the activation, pay attention. You may ask spirit, and maybe I'll guide you through it. Why are you being, why are you receiving these wings? What is the special significance? Does it mean that you're connected to a particular kingdom, for instance? Like there is a reason, for instance, like why some of you may get a bird wing versus a dragon wing. That is a dead giveaway that you're connected to the bird kingdom. And doesn't just matter on this planet. Like there are many bird species in many different dimensions. There are bird races like blue avians, etc. So you may be connected to that. So like potentially looking into the bird kingdom, learning everything about it. Same thing about the dragons. If you get dragon wings, it's not random. It's probably because you have a connection to the dragons. It's because you've probably incarnated as a dragon. It's probably because you have dragon spirit guides, etc., right? So your wings are not random. Color, shape, everything. Like just really pay attention to whatever you're being shown, because every little like a piece of visual is like a symbol. Like you're meant to receive it, you're meant to dissect it. Okay, moving forward. If you are worried about not being able to see your wings, don't worry. Because if you're not able to see something, you're able to receive it in other ways. You're able to feel your wings. I was doing, not to toot my own horn, but as I was writing the little exercises for you guys at the end of this presentation, of course, I was doing them myself because I'm like, okay, I need to make sure this is as potent as it can be. You don't have to see anything if you do these exercises. The amount of energy that courses through your body, like it's like a jolt, like you feel them, like they're real. So like if you don't see it, don't worry about it. You're still getting the full benefit. And by doing these exercises, you're going to start sensing more, and feeling deeper into your body. So there are many ways to receive information. It doesn't have to be visual. Yeah, you don't actually have to physically see the wings. No, we're getting the same questions, but yeah, you don't have to see them. If you're seeing them, it's wonderful. If not, you're going to receive information in other ways. So just trust that the universe is going to send you the information the way that you're meant to receive it. So don't worry about that too much. Okay, main uses for the wings. First one is protection, and that is kind of like ingrained in literally every single pair of wings that I've seen. Not to say that that's their primary function, but it is one of the very natural functions that the wings have. They just are a protective tool. And what do I mean by protection? It's energy protection, really. So anything from the simple evil eye to black magic. Not that, not to get morbid here, most of you people are never going to have black magic applied against you, but it's nice to know that you have that protection. It's just nice to know that you are impenetrable and impervious, and you're really just protected by God and angels and your higher self, and nothing can touch you. Etheric wings are raising your vibration automatically. They come out and you're starting to vibrate higher. The more you work with your wings, again, the same also applies. Just through working with the wings, your vibration is going up. Energy infusion and accumulation. We're going to be talking a lot about it. Your wings are extremely good as energy receptacles, and they can hold on to energy like nobody's business. They can accumulate the energy, and they can discharge that energy very quickly when you need it. So they are a potent tool. In the angelic kingdom, actually, the wings can also be, apart from flying, but they can be, there are like a group of angels that are warrior angels, who love the whole, demons versus angels war games type of situation. And the wings are actually a weapon in that regard. Like you can focus massive amounts of light through the wings and use them as weapons if you wanted to. I'm not suggesting that you do, but I'm just saying that, there are other ways to use this capability of wings to accumulate energy. But either way, you can accumulate any particular kind of energy, or you can accumulate the broad spectrum energy, just like the energy of the sun or the energy of source or the energy of your higher self that has a little bit of everything. And that can make you a lot more adept at facing physical challenges. So it's not just, astral realm and dreamscape. No, etheric wings may be invisible, but they're going to get you very real benefits in the physical world is where I'm going with this. You're going to have a heightened impact on the world. There's literally going to be more of you. When there is more of you, every step that you make is more noticeable. Every word that you say is more noticeable, right? So it's almost like your magnetic field is going to be bigger. Special abilities activation is another use, quote unquote, or is something that your etheric wings enable to happen, right? So usually not usually, I mean, obviously your special quote unquote abilities. And the reason it's quote unquote is because it's not that these abilities are special. It's just these abilities are rare. It's not like people cannot develop them. It's just a lot of people don't bother to, right? But they're still, all things considered, special. Could be any of the clairs. It could be something, some special abilities from your past life. Very often, the wings are the trigger. Not always. Sometimes you can just open clairaudience or clairvoyance without the wings. But very often, when the wings come, it's because something else is also meant to come after, right? So I almost it's like watch the breadcrumbs after this activation. Even for the next potentially year or so, you may be getting the benefit of this activation anywhere, everywhere else in your life, including some abilities, or, maybe you become a little bit more psychic, maybe your intuition is going to be enhanced, etc. It could be so many different things. The wings have an intrinsic built-in connection to the elements of ether and air. Ether, right, is all the entire invisible world, essentially, right? So all of your spirit guides, your higher self is there. Source consciousness is there. So that enhances your ability to receive communication from spirit in whatever shape or form. It enhances your ability to connect to your higher self. It enhances your ability to see, perceive, visualize, just work with the invisible world. Ether is also the energy. Ether is the element that can turn into any other element. So if you're intrinsically connected to ether, it's like a shapeshifter element. It's like a chameleon. When you are in that, in the state of, carrying a lot of ether in your wings or in your body, you're able to flip the switch really quickly. And it happens in the background, meaning, say you need the energies of fire, but your body is lacking fire. If your body is connected to the energies of ether, ether can very quickly become fire in your body. What would be the situation where you would require fire? When you need to go after something, when you need to, deliver a speech, when you're asking for that raise, when you need to make a decisive, put the foot down and just make a decisive step, whatever that is. For some people, getting a divorce requires so much fire, like asking for a divorce from their spouse requires so much fire. So that could just be an example of where your wings can help you and you didn't even know. And also wings are connected to the element of air, and air is making you lighter. Air also enables you to move faster. So that is for all those of you that are impatient, that you feel like things are dragging and you want it to be faster already. The element of air is really your saving grace, and the wings are going to help you tap into that easier. So again, it is, if you have imbalanced air, wings can help balance that element in your body, both air and ether. So it's very, very beautiful. It's a beautiful tool. So I'm also looking at the questions here in the comments. Thank you guys for all the comments. If you're an air sign, does that mean, it doesn't really, if you're an air sign, it doesn't really mean anything specific for the activation. It just means that once your wings are activated, you're going to be even bigger friends with the element of air than you already are. That's probably what it means. Wings are also giving you mobility in the astral realm. For those of you guys that are doing astral travel, or even in your dreams, when you just want to float and really go, high, your wings really help with that. So they are real in that regard. And then they also help you with manifestation. And I do have a practice where you can use your wings to manifest things faster. But one thing you should also think about, when you think about wings and the element of air, air is the element that is responsible for change and impacting that change, but also being able to shift the tides, if that makes sense. So maneuvering. shifting direction. That's the element of air. If you have the wings, it's a lot easier for you not to just shift your own direction, but actually it's almost like shift the direction of the world around you. Because imagine like if your wings are out and you're moving a lot more air with you compared to if you just had your hands, if that makes sense, right? So it's almost like the world starts moving with you anytime you want to make a turn left or make a turn right. So anytime, like with the wings out, when you intend to change something in your life, whatever that is, like new relationship, new job, or end something, the wings are really going to maneuver your body in a way that you face as little impediments on the road, as few roadblocks as possible, because the wings are very naturally attuned to the universe, and they don't, they go with the flow naturally. Like you're going to be tight pressed to make your wings not go with the flow. I don't even know how you would do that, to be honest. So your wings are so connected. They're almost like they're so connected. They're more potentially connected to your higher self even than you. So like meaning like they kind of, your wings are of your higher self. And that's why they're almost even more in tune with your higher aspects. And that's why it's easier for them to stay in the flow. And that's why they're going to be maneuvering you slightly and even sending you intuitive hits. So as to aid you in decision making. I hope this makes sense. This was a little bit of a mouthful. Will your wings know what energy you need, or do you have to ask them? The answer is both. Sometimes the wings act, well, very often the wings are going to act in the background, just moving you towards the direction of your highest good. That is, you get that by default. So you're going to face, again, a lot fewer roadblocks on your road. However, you can also work proactively with your wings and ask them like, hey, wings, I need this, or I intend to do that, or can you, provide assistance with this, or can you help infuse me with this kind of energy? And your wings are going to do that. The wings are really good. It's one in the practice that I don't want to, put the cart before the horse, but one of the practices towards the end here that you all are going to get in this deck is how to ask your wings, essentially, or how to infuse your wings with a particular kind of energy. And you want to do that overnight when you're sleeping, because that's where the wings are most active. When you go to sleep, your wings come out, so to say. And so that is, you can give them a task. You can give them like a task and a mission to collect and gather a particular energy for you as you sleep. For instance, you're stressed. Before going to sleep, you can be like, hey, wings, I need the energy of peace, calm, and flow, and just, bliss, and just make it easy for me. Like, I don't want to have to struggle. And your wings are going to accumulate that energy overnight. And then in the morning, you just absorb it from the wings into your heart space. So the way that the wings communicate with your body is through your heart. So just like upload it from your wings, send it into your heart, and then you have that energy of bliss and peace and calm in your heart space. But again, that is all in the practice, and I'm just like a little bit like running ahead over here due to the questions, because I know this is dense material, and so I want to answer your questions also as we go along, and make sure that you guys are not confused. What symptoms are you experiencing in your body when they're activated? Some back pain. Oh my God, yes. Yes, you are gonna, well, maybe I shouldn't be saying yes, you're gonna experience back pain. It's not even pain. It's like tickles. So I mean, I can tell you my experiences if that's helpful at all. When they were coming out, so there's this area in your in the back, in your back between your two shoulder blades. It's pretty big. It's like this big, and it started to tickle, and then go numb for me at random points during the day, for like 15 minutes, regardless of what I was doing. Like, it wasn't because I was like, laying down in an uncomfortable position and my back went to sleep, so to say. No, it was just me sitting at my computer, minding my own business. All of a sudden, I'm like, I can't feel half of my back. Oh, this is great. It was like a little bit like that for me. And then the more you're in a state of resistance, and of course, at the moment, you may not realize that you're in a state of resistance. You're like, it's my back is hurting and I don't know what's happening. Do I need to go see the doctor? I don't know. And the more you're in the state of resistance, the more persistent and the more frequent that pain or that sensation becomes. So I went from like once every 2 days to like 4 times a day of this weird sensation, and then it just goes away. And then it like comes back again and then goes away. And then when you remove the resistance and you remove the blockages, whatever needs to come out of your back comes out of your back, you're activated, and the pain goes away. until the next activation. And then the next activation, something else may want to be birthed for your etheric body. And you go through that cycle all over again. So it's very fun. That's how I experienced it. But yes, I mean, of course, every body is different, but there's definitely that you may feel sensations in your back. That's where it aggregates between your shoulder blades. It could be along your spine. It may, that's one. Two, when your wings come out, if they're very heavy, your muscles in the back may ache just because everything is interconnected. Literally, for the first 2 weeks when my first set of wings came out, I felt like I was working out my back muscles because I was like, oh my God, why does it hurt so much? It's really like you've been working out, but then it's because like they're big and they're heavy and your body was not used to them. All of a sudden it's this new appendage that you have and you're like, okay, I need to get used to it. And not only your energetic body is getting used to it, your entire system is getting used to it. Your mental body is going to get used to it. Your emotional body is going to get used to it. Your physical body is going to get used to it. And so for each and every one of you, it may be different. But yes, like if you have back pain, if you have shoulder pain, even neck pain, sometimes like lower neck, that could all be related to the wings. It's not because we broke something after this workshop. Like if you're feeling strange sensations, it's not because we broke you or messed you guys up. It's because the wings are out and your body just needs to adjust. And it will go away in 10 to 14 days. Like it's not going to be a forever symptom. Like your body's going to get used to it. Your body is so wise, so intuitive. And it's going to be fine. But yeah, the wings feel heavy at the beginning. Yeah, you have to like get used to them for sure. I feel like I maybe missed questions. Oh gosh, Sergey, do you know if I missed questions?
Maybe one is when it hurts for a long time, like some people can experience pain for months. And the question, is it resistance or something else?
Yes, usually it's a resistance in the block. And we're going to be talking about that. That's actually probably in the next slide. And part of the reason for this activation is like dealing with the block, not the reason, but like the harder aspect is dealing with the blocks, the things that are blocking your wings. Like you are your own resistance, if that makes sense. It's not somebody from outside of you that's resisting the wings. Trust me, it's your own wings. You're usually resisting the wings. In the background, subconsciously, you may not even know that. You probably don't know what your block is, and a big part of you may even feel like, what do you mean? But the wings are so beautiful, and I like angels, and I like birds, and I like all the flying things, and nothing wrong with that. And then you may still be blocked. And so meditating on what your block is could be really, really, really important. Another thing, if if that pain does not go away and you're meant to birth something, whether that is wings or something else from your back, if you're meant to birth it, the block is usually looks energetically like a black cork. Imagine like if there was like a champagne cork, but it was all black. And it's like that cork is blocking the exit and the entrance from this activation point in your back. So when you're meditating and you're trying to figure out what's holding you back, imagine diving into that dark cork, almost like as if you were diving into a deep well, and then just allowing, kind of like quieting down your mind, doing the breathing exercises, whatever you need to do, just like a quiet down your thought stream a little bit, and then look around and see what's inside of you and ask the universe to show you what your block is. And most likely you would be able to see what the block is, right? It could be a person, it could be a fear, it could be something. Or they may just show you an image, or they just may show you an object, or you may just get like a download, like a thought. All of a sudden, like an intuitive hit that just came through, and like you have a knowing like what is blocking you. So that is how you would work with your blocks. And then, it's parts work from there, usually. Like if it's a part of you that is blocking it, for instance, a part that doesn't want to be seen and doesn't want to be heard and just wants to stay small and safe forever and not have to, fight for what's right, that can block your wings very easily. But then, how do you work with that part is through parts work, like integrating that part, hearing that part out, not pushing that part away, because very often the parts that are preventing our growth, very often they're protector parts. Very often they think they're doing, us a favor, or like they're doing good by us, they're doing right by us. They have like a tremendous desire to help us. Now, we of course are changing, and, protection from everything and everyone may have been really good at one point, but now we're here to shine. Now we're here to thrive. Now we're here to like remove those blocks, right? And so what used to maybe serve you could now hurt you. And so you can just reassign that part, talk to the part, hear them out first. Don't block them out and be like the adult in the room that doesn't want to hear the kid out because they know better, right? Because we little like, you know, we tend to take those things like the I know better with our parts and I don't want to hear you and you're being unreasonable right now and stop protecting me and la la la. But they want to be heard. Once you hear that part out, once you understand why they got birthed, when they got birthed, what are they here to serve you and help you and do for you, then you can reassign them to and give them another task to do for you. And then they're extremely receptive once you hear them out. I hope this is helpful. I did not mean to go into parts work. Let me see if there are any other questions. Ooh, I don't know. Somebody says my back tickles terribly and it bleeds sometimes. Tickling, something wants to come out for sure. Bleeding, we need to look into that deeper. That's actually a backstabbing wound for you in particular. Meaning, look into the betrayal wound. Lucia, that's something else. Your back is not supposed to be bleeding from wings. Your wings are a lot more subtle than that. Your etheric body is a lot more subtle. If your back is bleeding, that's usually like trauma. That's trauma. Yes, Crinella, you're asking if I have back pain for months, does it mean I was in resistance for that long? Yes, you can be in resistance for years to your wings, for years, like a decade, easily. It doesn't mean that your wings are the only thing that can cause you back pain. Let me take a step back. That's not the only thing that could be going on. There could be other things. It could be an issue with responsibility could hit your back. If you're not, either when you take too much responsibility, that could be back pain. If you're not taking enough responsibility, that can be back pain. Issues with your dad could be back pain. Lower back, especially issues with your dad. Issues with authority could be back pain. There's like other potential reasons why your back could be hurting, not just the wings. Did you ever feel it on one side? If you're feeling the tickles on one side, that is probably because something like, well, I've seen wings that are half out in people, is what I've seen. I've seen one wing out, the other wing tucked in. I've seen both wings half out. So if a particular part of your body, side of your body, left or right, is calling your attention, it's either because it's already ready and bursting through the seams and wants to birth that wing, and it just wants you to sit down, hear it, and birth it already. It's like, hey, are we gonna, it's like, are we going into labor to birth those wings or not? Okay, maybe not. Okay, are we now going into, okay, maybe not. It could be that, or it could be, I'm blocked. Could you please unblock me? Could you please hear me? Let's, like, anyway, it's a call for attention. If one side of you tickles, go into that side, see what's there. Really, it's like part of it is just connecting to your body and asking you the questions of like, what is the message? Why are you hurting? Why are you sending me this? Let me see what else. Can I use my wings to protect my loved ones? Yes. Yes, once they're out, you can. Because they're protective, and, you know, there's an expression, take somebody under your wing. That is energy protection, actually. It's not just necessarily for the bird kingdom. You know, that was not the analogy. The analogy was really, yeah, like whoever you think is your tribe, whoever you really are your loved ones, you could do an activation where you draw a circle, you step into a circle, white circle, protective circle. And then you spread your wings out and you invite all of the people that you want to protect under your wings. Your children, whomever. Your pets. Pets need protection too, by the way. Oh my God. Poor pets sometimes take so much of our distortions upon themselves. Like your pets can take away your illness. Like they require protection too. So yeah, you can definitely use your wings to protect your loved ones. And so yeah, essentially just make sure everybody is inside of the circle and under your wings. So the circle protects them from the back, the wings protect them, sorry, from the bottom, the wings protect them from the top, if that makes sense. Right? So it's like an energy structure. The resistance can be related to fully being on your mission as the wings enable you. Yes, 100%. That is a very, very common set of resistance, or kind of resistance to your wings is like, I don't want to be on my mission, so I don't want to be activated, because if my wings are out, I'm going to be seen, I'm going to be heard, and I'm going to matter, and I'm going to change the world, or help the people, whatever, you know, your version is. And yes, that is a common blocker. Okay, hold on. We have a lot of questions. Yes. Well, the chat and the question is, can we get a copy of the chat and the slides? The slides we will definitely send over to you. It's like a a study material for you if you want to reread them, refer back to them for sure. I'm not sure that as we're recording this, it doesn't save the chat. That's the one thing. Yeah. Oh, and circular.
I'll probably be able to pull out the chat history as well. I'll have to check. Yeah.
Okay, great. So maybe we can just send it as an attachment to the email.
Yeah, same, together with the slides and the link to YouTube. Yeah. So I'll try to do everything in one pack.
Fantastic. And one of the questions that I haven't answered is in one of the next slides, so I'm not gonna go there just yet. Common wing blockers. Somebody just asked about the right and the left wing. Before we read all of these bullet points, just one thing for you to remember. The right wing is usually blocked by external things that you perceive to be like, and by external, I mean like far removed from you. So these are bigger things like society, your standing in the world, being seen, like this kind of almost like very external things. The left wing is usually blocked either by your internal issues around like the victim mentality, low self-esteem, like smallness factor, or your very, very close-knit circle, like literally your immediate family and like your spouse, your best friend, things like that. So yeah, so basically that's kind of the difference, right? Maybe in line with the right side of your body is more masculine, the left side of your body is more feminine. So it does connect from that regard, that the left is more concerned with like the more immediate circle of people, and the right is more concerned with the bigger one. So let's like the bigger, like the world, so to say, at large. So if the right wing doesn't want to come out, if the right wing is blocked, that is your fear of being seen, becoming visible, becoming too much, shining. That's your fear of shining. That's your fear of being ostracized and persecuted for your gifts or your opinions or your words or otherwise, like when you just want to stay small. That's your right wing if it is blocked. The fear of being on your path, stepping onto your mission, that's the right wing. The fear of who you are, your abilities, your power, and going big, like all of it, which is kind of, one and the same thing, just regurgitated in 4 different bullet points. It's that very same vibration, if that makes sense. The left wing is, if I come out of the closet, so to say, because accepting your etheric wings is kind of like coming out of the spiritual closet in some ways. Am I going to lose my closest relationships? Could be my husband, my wife, my kids. Are they going to think I'm crazy? What does it mean for me? All the whole 9 yards. Family, not just like, it doesn't have to be the spouse. It can be the mom, the dad, the aunt, the uncle, the cousins, like, but still contained with the immediate family. Same fear of being misunderstood by family. Say your family is very religious. They go to church on Sundays or whatever their version of worshiping is. You're like, oh my God, this is like too much. Am I getting too much into the whole woo-woo, like new age, or whatever this thing is? I don't know that I'm comfortable with that. So that could block your left wing, your inner critic. Anything that's internal to you, that's keeping you small, that's going to be the left wing. If it's the inner critic that's too loud, but that's usually, interestingly enough, right? Like the inner critic usually talks in the voice of one of your parents. I don't know if you guys noticed, if you actually listen to it. It talks in the voice of one of your parents. Which one is it, is the question. And so for inner critic is not all that far removed from like this whole family drama, if that makes sense, right? It has that, because of that, it has a connection to the family. Whoever was the tough one in your family, or sometimes it feels like truly you. That is also possible. Then you're the critic in the family, if that's the case. Now, low self-esteem, like I said, victimhood and martyrdom are here as well. Sometimes you don't want to, your wings are not going to come out because you're living in the victim archetype. Because of course, if you're in the victim, how can you accept your power, right? Victims don't do that. That's not on brand for victims. Same thing for a martyr. Martyrs are just here to suffer for the greater good and the greater collective. So why do they need wings? They can suffer in the human bodies just fine. That type of mentality. So that's that. These are the vibrations. Let me see. Questions. I hope this answers that the left side is the feminine. Yeah. There was a question on that.
There was a question about the position of the wings, whether it's always at the top or can be at the lower side of the back as well.
Depending on the wings. If it's the butterfly wings, they're going to be smack in the middle, like right around your waist. That's where the butterfly wings or the fairy wings usually attach. If it's the bird or the angelics, they usually attach towards the top. So it really depends on which wings. If you have very unique wings that are high tech and look like AI made them and something, or sacred geometry symbols, you're going to have to listen to your own intuition on this because it could be a very unique placement. I have seen some wings that are attached literally to the very bottom where the kidneys are. Like it happens. Is that very frequent? Not really. But is it possible? Absolutely. So yes, it could be anything. Okay, were there any other questions? It doesn't seem like my right wing is blocked. Okay. Yes, well, if one of your wings is blocked, that is what we're going to be dealing with in the actual activation part of this. That is when the whole healing is going to happen for both wings. We're going to work on left, right, and then both of them together as a group. So stay tuned. Okay, the anatomy of the wings. A little bit complicated, a little bit dense. I'm going to try to make it as fun as I can. There are three major axes with the wings. There's the central axis, and on this picture, it's like straight through the middle is this pillar of light. There is the axis for your left wing and the axis for your right wing. Of course, it was very challenging for me given that wings can be so many different shapes and sizes. But think of, so essentially, each wing has their own central axis, right? So whichever wing you have, it has like a logical center somewhere, right? So you have one axis in the center of your left wing, one axis in the center of your right wing, and then one in the middle. And all three of them are energy highways that are receiving and giving away energy, right? So like that, the energy is just streaming up and down these highways, if that makes sense. The wings has 2 points of energy accumulation, 2 points of energy release. And you know what? I'm going to switch to the next slide. I hope you guys appreciate my art skills. Please. Well, this was like, okay, I use AI to generate the images. This was like an impossible one to generate. So this is an actual bird. So this is, the reason I took this bird is because her wings are really, really easy. Like its wings are very easily positioned for me to explain what the different centers are. So the first things first are the axes, right? So we have the central axis. Like imagine this bird is you. This would be your spinal cord, spinal column. This is the right wing. This is essentially the center of the wing, right? If we're talking bird or angelic wings, it's like literally in the center where there is that little tip on the wing that looks like a little triangle on top. That is where that axis goes through. And then there is the exact same axis on the left wing. So there are two, symmetrical axes. Also, there are 4 major points. I put them in pink dots. The 2 on top and the 2 on the bottom. The 2 on the top at the very tip of the wings, kind of at the shoulders, I guess. I don't know, at the elbows, if that makes sense. They are the ones for energy accumulation. These are the points, like natural receiver points of your wings. This is like where the energy is going to go and it's going to stuck there and it's almost like creates this little spiral movement and it's like a reservoir for that energy to sit there. And like, it is a very, very big reservoir there at each of your wings. And then towards the bottom, at the very tips of the wings, right over here, where it says the energy release point. These are like, so essentially that is where the energy cascades for use, if that makes sense, right? And that is where you can focus the energy, and that is how you're going to release the energy and let it out of the wings, is through the tips. So you accumulate at the point of accumulation, and then you release it through the tips of the wings. Does that make sense? Can you guys give me like a plus sign? This makes sense. Okay. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, okay, this is going to require some serious explanation skills. Great. Okay. Going back to the previous slide. Hold on one second. Okay, so now hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. So 3 main axes, 2 points to accumulate energy, 2 points to release energy. If you have butterfly wings or fairy wings or dragonfly wings, your point of accumulation is always going to be towards the top. Your point of release is going to be somewhere towards the bottom. Just know that the energy just cascades down, if that makes sense. Just like keep that as like a rule of thumb. The wings get charged by your higher self. That is usually like that's the default setting. Your wings get activated by your higher self. They get charged by your higher self. They're an extension of your higher self. So they're in communion. They're in constant communication with one another. That is your wings and your higher self. And they absorb the energy through the main 3 axes, the left, the right, and the middle. The reason I love this is because you used to be a 1-axis type of being. Like if you just think about it, right? Like so essentially 1 part of energy entered your body. It could be a big stream, but it was just still through your main chakral system, like through the spinal cord. And now you have 2 more. And in terms of their capacity, they're about 80% capacity of the main one. So extreme capacity. Like these, the left and the right axis, they contain a lot of energy. They're powerhouses. They're not like 1% of the main one. They're like really, really powerful. Also, your wings are connected to 3 major chakras. So today when we're doing the activation, a very important thing for me would be to connect the chakras of your body to the wings. So your wings are not disattached to the rest of you and you know how to work with them so that we're connecting the things and putting the puzzles together and the Legos together into one cohesive creation. And hold on. I was trying to also show this on the person, but the bird was so much easier. But I just wanted to show you the axes move when you move the wings, if that makes sense, right? So that axis is still going to go from the very tip of the wing down. So if you move your wings, the axis is going to move with it. You don't really need to know that, but just wanted to, just for clarity's sake. Activation point. Remember how we spoke about the pain in the back? This is the bad boy that's causing us all of these tingles, or the good boy rather. So the activation point is a very magical part of our body. It is both an etheric part, like a part of our energy body, as well as the physical, like it will give you physical sensations. Literally located in the middle of your spine, between your shoulder blades, like that green, this green point, that is where it starts. But it's like the epicenter of the volcano, and then it just reverberates from there. So when your wings are birthed, despite the fact that they may be located and they may actually come out at, under your shoulder blades or over your shoulder blades or somewhere in the middle of your back, like wherever they come out, they get activated by this one spot. This is one of the spots that connects us to the matrix as well. So this is the one spot that also connects you to the world around you and enables the energy exchange between you and this 3rd dimensional reality. But it also does enable you to receive things from your higher self. It's just like one of these magical points. There's another magical point actually up here in at the base of your neck as well that can be quite activating, also connects you to the matrix and can help birth a lot of the magical gifts for you. But this main one is a little bit down between your shoulder blades. So the activation point helps birth new energy structures, whatever those are, whatever things you need for your mission is very often going to be coming out of this spot. Like I said before, tingles when activated or when it's ready to birth, something is going to start sending you this message. It's like, hey, you got mail, you have new things to unpack, please pay attention, meditate with me is what this activation point tells us. Yeah, and so that's really that. Let me see, I haven't been really monitoring the questions. The question earlier was, will we release the martyr and victimhood? Will release enough of martyr and victimhood to open up the wings? This is not the martyr sacred circle. I may do one. Actually, I was thinking about it because I'm like, oh, there's so much martyrdom and victimhood. I may do one that's specifically for that. We're definitely going to release enough of the victim to like allow your left wing to come out. So it'll get better. Let's see. Sorry, guys. It's hard to monitor questions. There are so many of them. Maybe, Sergey, you can point me to the right ones, because like otherwise I'm going to waste a lot of people's time.
Yeah, there was something about solar plexus and it's being kind of activated or stiff. Does it mean that the wing is connected to the solar plexus?
Yes, it's one of the next slides. We're gonna talk about it in a second.
Yeah. I think that was the main one.
So energy, I'm reading this one. So energy can enter at each wing axis and then can go to you or out by tips, or only from us to the accumulation points to tips. So the energy, yes, the energy can enter through, the ideal wing receives energy from all three axes. It doesn't pick and choose. So that's one, right? Like you're going to be receiving through all three. And that is actually when you're letting the energy go through all three, that is where you start experiencing crazy physical sensations in your body as well, where it's like, whoa, something is moving. I'm not used to this many highways in my body. Whoa. I was playing with this, all evening yesterday, just because it was fun. Then can it go out? Well, actually, so yes, the wings receive the energy through the highways. Then they go to the accumulation points if you want to, or it can just be in its dispersed state all throughout the wings. And then you can either release the energy through the wings, or you can absorb that energy into your chakras through the heart, and then just distributing to other chakras. So like you have two ways to work with that energy, if that makes sense. I hope that answers your question. Can energy flow however we choose? Not sure what you mean by that. Can we reroute energy however we choose? Yes, but there are also meridians and pathways where the energy goes naturally. So think of it, right? Like if there is like a natural flow of how things are, you're going to have to be actively preventing that flow from being where it's at for you to want to reroute it. So that's why it's always easier to just understand what the map is, how does it already work, and so we can tap into it and accentuate it and amplify it instead of trying to fight it. If that makes sense. All right. Somebody was asking about chakras. So your wings are connected to the three chakras: solar plexus, heart, and throat. They are intrinsically connected. So when they're coming out, they're already going to start tapping into all three. For resources, there's like an exchange. There is like a communication. In the same way that your wings are already communicating to your higher self, they're going to naturally communicate to these three chakras. Usually when the energy exchange happens, the heart is that first receptacle. I think I've said it earlier, just repeating it. It's usually the heart. And the same thing, you can send the energy from your heart to power your wings if you wanted to, right? So there's like that bridge, if that makes sense, between the heart and the wings. Now, let's really quickly explore the connection between solar plexus and the wings. So once activated, your wings increase your personal power. They increase the throughput or the capacity for your solar plexus chakra to hold energy, just because your wings have more energy and they want to put that energy to good use. So they're gonna naturally expand the capacity, the size, if you will, of your solar plexus chakra, because that is also where a lot of that energy that they're generating and accumulating is going to go. Heart, yes, very cool. Thank you. Heart chakra. Once attuned to your heart, we're going to do just a little attunement when we do the activation later. The wings will help also increase the capacity and the magnetism of your heart. And there's also light healing that will happen just by the virtue of you having the wings on your heart space. So certain fissures are going to disappear, certain distortions are going to disappear, some darkness is just going to go away, because think of it, wings are like these light receptacles, and they're going to be pumping so much light through your heart space that some darkness just cannot hold. It's almost like, I wanted to say the law of physics, but it's probably the law of spiritual physics. Throat chakra. Throat chakra, again, once the wings are activated, you're becoming more self-expressed. You become more of who you are. And so the wings naturally increase the flow of energy towards your center of self-expression. Self-expression energetically, or like when you're self-expressed, it looks like the river's coming out of your throat. I know, maybe not the prettiest analogy, but that's what it looks like to me, at least. And so your wings, when they're distributing the energy and when they're pumping the energy into your heart space, part of it is going to go into grounding you in your solar plexus and like powering you through the solar plexus. A big chunk of it is going to go up through your throat. So it's almost like it's going to be an invitation to be more of you, an invitation to be more of your path. It doesn't mean talking necessarily. It's just showing up in a way that you're meant to show up, being who you're meant to be, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, Sergey, were there questions that I needed to address?
There was something about releasing the energy once it's released, how you're going to lose it, or it's going to come to you back, and in what capacity?
Yeah, I love that. Well, I mean, given that energy was initially given to you by your higher self, you know, it's the same thing as money, like the same, like river energy is like the river, right? Like if you're trying to prevent the river from doing what the river is meant to be, which is flow, you're creating a whole number of distortions and it's going to come and bite you later. Same thing with energy. Like the energy that your higher self is giving you is not supposed to be dormant, and it's not supposed to be accumulated for the sake of being accumulated. It's like the opposite, because that would be like having a lot of treasure and just sitting on top of that treasure saying I'm rich. But like, okay, well, that's not the point, is it? Like energy is meant to be given out into the universe. Like you're meant to do something with it. You're, you know, just share it with the people, like whatever is your version of magic. So when your higher self gives you something, it intends for you to use it. And so don't worry about like losing energy, if that makes sense, because that's not what's happening. It's the energy is going to fulfill its destiny when it's doing the work, right? Like you want that discharge to happen because the energy is completing its cycle. It's completing the circle for you. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The higher self is going to send you more. It's then up to the higher self. Don't worry about that. It's an automatic process. It's up to the higher self then to recoup the energy and, you know, magnetize it back to itself. And those pathways already exist. You don't have to worry about this, or because your higher self is already worried about it. Not worried about it, but thinking about it, and it's all already built. So that, I guess my point is, you have an unlimited amount of energy that you can draw through your wings with the help of your higher self. And the higher self is going to make sure that it is not depleted in that process. I hope this makes sense.
Flying with your hands in the dreams and the meaning of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, well, if you're able to fly with your hands, that means that your vibrations are definitely high enough for you to be able to do that. Most beings are not going to be able to fly with their hands, but this is also like a dead giveaway that I think you're ready for the wings. I think it's time. You can fly even higher. Sorry, what is this? So it's the same as chakras, where we try to preserve the energy of the root chakra, for instance. It's not the same with the chakras. No. The wings are meant to course through energy. The accumulation is not meant to be forever. It's more like in the moment. Like you're not going to want to sit on that energy too much. Yeah, it's working energy. It's energy in motion is the one that you get through your wings. It's very charged energy, charged for action, charged for release. Can wings also help with healing the sacral? Maybe covertly, not overtly. Wings are not necessarily connected to the sacral. The sacral is the water element in your body. The wings, like I said, are more air and ether. However, when the wings get activated, all these other things get activated. So as a byproduct of that, you may receive something after you receive the wings, which could help your sacral, if that makes sense.
Can somebody intentionally harm your wings, or like clip your wings, something like that?
It'll have to be some serious dark magic. So the answer is definitely not clip your wings. Well, like I said, it'll have to be some serious, very intentional dark magic to specifically harm your wings, which, like, what are the odds of that? And even then, like, you know, it's all workable and your higher self can still restore them. That being said, can somebody harm your wings? Yes, and you can also harm your wings yourself inadvertently by, you know, your thoughts and feelings and lowering your vibrations and, you know, consuming certain things. Like, I don't know, if you develop an alcohol addiction that would hurt your entire etheric body, including your wings. But it'll have to be some, a serious amount of hard liquor. Yeah, it is possible. Now, the good news is I have a practice. I don't remember it's 5 practices total towards the end of this deck. One of them is about fortifying your wings. I think it's the second practice. And it is essentially teaches you how to build like a gilded second layer on top of your current wings. So they are fortified. And so the likelihood of any of this is really minimized and close to 0. So I have that practice. So you can do that in your own time if you're worried about your wings. Or even if you're not worried about your wings, you can still do that. It's a great practice. I love it. Is it necessary to cleanse the wings regularly? Actually, no, not regularly. Only in one practices of the 5 do I recommend cleansing the wings. Because so much energy is coursing through the wings, it is like a shower, like an energetic shower all day, every day. So they are like the ones that groom themselves, so to say. You don't need to worry. Like in the same way you don't need to wash cats. They wash themselves. That's the wings. Terrible analogy, Mariya. What are you doing? Anyway, what else do we have going on? How can they make us more effective energy healers? Well, if you think about it, your healing energies are your heart space. So it's like really the emerald and the pink energies of the lower heart and the higher heart that very often come through either the hands, whatever else whatever other modality, but it's the emerald ray. Your etheric wings are increasing, like I said, the capacity. It's like right on the slide, increasing the capacity of your heart space, making you more magnetic. So they are making you a better healer by definition. I hope this makes sense. All right, you guys. Let's do a quick group reading because I feel like I've spent so much time on this, and really the most important part of this is the activation per usual, and that's probably going to take an hour. So I want to make sure we have time for that. Let me just really quickly tap into you as a collective and just give you like a quick reading of what I'm seeing. Like I said, about 30% of you have the wings out, but about half of that, so 15% of the 30, don't have them out all the way. I'm seeing a bunch of stuck wings actually. So for some of you, like 1 is out, but enough of you only like they started to show up, but like they got blocked. And so you're not like, they're not fully out. And even for the ones that are out, I see that there's so much in the background for you that you may yourself not even be aware that they're out, and you're definitely not using them. And they're almost like detached from the rest of your body. They're kind of like floating there by themselves. And I need them attached to your body, if that makes sense, attached to your chakras so that they can be more impactful for you. So that's the good news. The good news is that we can work with all of that. Whatever is your flavor of disconnected from your wings, that's good then. It gives me like it makes me really happy to see that there's work even to do even for the ones that have the wings out. There are a lot of angelic wings. There are a lot of feathers in this group. There are a few dragon ones. No butterfly that I'm seeing. Well, I guess this could be considered a butterfly. This is more of a fairy. Some fairy wings that may come across to you as a butterfly. But yeah, like a pretty angelic group in here. So cool. All right, that's very sweet. A lot of you are meant to use your wings in healing. Actually, that's the one thing that comes out. A lot of you are meant to use your wings as protection. I see enough of you actually being able to grow your wings so big that they could cover the entire earth, and that's almost like a calling, if that makes sense, like to like be that protective spirit energy for like Mother Gaia and like all of her beings, like whatever beings inside all like within Earth that you want to protect. You're going to be able to do that. And it's like that energy protection is real. Like you just like, it looks like energetically you're just putting your wings over the folks. But, whoever you're trying to protect, it makes a big difference in their life. So a lot of you are protector. I would call you protector angels. We have healer angels. We have protector angels. We have a couple of warrior angels in here, meaning when your wings are going to get activated, your activist is going to come out. And so you're meant to fight for what's right, not with not with weapons and stuff like that, but fight in a more figurative manner where truly like becoming an activist, speaking up, on the issues that are close to your heart, and being extremely effective and impactful too. So it's not somebody who speaks out and like nobody wants to listen to them and they're like, oh my God, this person is so unreasonable. No, but you'll be able to find the words, find the means, find the platforms, find the like-minded individuals to really like put your message out there. So a lot of that, very beautiful. Ooh, for the men in the group, your specific flavor of protection is for the women. That's just what wants to come through. So there is either a woman in your life that you're meant to protect, or there are women in, your life, or the collective at large, whatever is, whatever matters to you that you're meant to protect. There are a lot of protector angels like that here in this group. And also the whoever is going to, watch this after, it's like an extended group. And not just who's watching today. So a lot of that. And then in terms of, like, let's look at the blockers. Let's look at the blockers, what's blocking your wings. What are the things that want to come through? Ancestral, not something I expected to see, actually. This is interesting. Ancestral, it's almost like the lineages are holding you back, but it's not in the sense that the lineage wants to hold you back. In fact, the lineage would prefer the opposite to be true. It's just maybe there's not enough light in the lineage for this discharge. And so it's almost like you're going to have to overcome gravity. It's almost like, do you know, like when the rocket goes into space, like it has to overcome this much gravity. So there's a little bit of that resistance with the lineages that I did not, expect. Not that there's nothing wrong with it. And that's why we're doing this in the flow. And I'm like working with the group here, right? So stuff is meant to come up and stuff is meant to reveal itself for us to deal with. And it's totally cool that I did not expect that. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of like, it's almost that, I'm just going to say it. It's almost like gooey murkiness. Imagine like that you guys are rising up from like the dark river. That's what they're showing me. It's like, but it's not the river even of water. It's like the river of like crude oil. And like you're rising up like literally against the grain. And you're this like white being of light with all these like beautiful wings that are like shining, but like really where you came out of is pretty dire and it's like dark. And yeah. So that's the energies. That's the energies that we're transcending today, and you're just going to emerge. Now, the good news is from that position of like an ascended as in you're rising. I'm not saying we're all ascended masters here by any stretch of imagination, but like when you're coming out, what you're able to do is like you're able to shine the light down. And like what I see is that actually doing a lot of good in your lineage once that happens, right? So like you're able to start transcending that energy. So there is that resistance, the resistance of the lineage, almost like the resistance of the status quo. And I'm also sensing that, this group here, like at one point it's going to be so normal to activate your wings. And a lot of people in spirituality are going to talk about that. And it's going to be so much information that like, it's going to be like everywhere. Right now, it's like, we're literally like one of the first battalions to even like make this happen in a group. And, because of that, it's the resistance of the system. It's like, this is too new, especially on this scale. Like usually when wings come out, they come out like sporadically for people here and there. And it's like individuals, like it's not a group like that in a circle where it's like, whoa, okay, all of these people are activating their gifts, like what's happening. So a little bit of that resistance of the status quo, call it, the system. What else are we going to have to? Okay. Father figures are coming through really strong. For whatever reason, this group does not want to be seen by their father figures as somebody who is holding this much light. So not the mothers, but the father figure. Can be conscious, can be subconscious. I'm not saying it's not for 100% of you, but it's for the ones of you that are experiencing this shame almost around having these gifts and like being who you are, being this light. Or fear and all of that vibration is very strong for you, that it really flips the vibration of this collective group and becomes like very prevalent. So I guess we're going to have to look at the father wounding and father situation. Hold on, I'm going to take a note so I don't forget, because as I'm channeling these, they're in one ear and out the other. we still need to heal them. Okay, hold on. Note taken. Let's see what else we have. So the father figure, we dealt with that. Interesting. Well, this is something unique. I mean, we kind of started doing this, but what I'm sensing is that what is going to help you is the sense of the community. Like not feeling like the odd one out, not feeling like the weirdo, but like being able to do it with other people who are quote unquote the same crazy as you are. That really helps. And I almost see like little mini circles aggregating, like 4 or 5 people in the group, almost like little kindred spirits. And you're like, you're doing this, I'm doing this. Are you doing this? I'm doing this. We're doing this. Okay, we're doing this. It's like this found camaraderie. Just but there's strength in numbers, and then there's almost like that like support circle that you guys need to not feel like you're completely off the rails. Yeah, I love our brand of crazy. I agree. I do too. Crazy all the way. Okay, so that's what's happening. There is a little bit of that victim and smallness, especially in women in the group, not enoughness, but who am I to have the wings? I'm not deserving, I'm average, I'm whatever is that, you know, I'm normal, I'm average, I'm less than comes up, I'm busy comes up. Very interesting. Like, I'm busy with the kids. What do you mean the wings? Which is really ironic, given that you guys paid for the workshop to show up here. But part of you is still busy with the kids and the husband and whatnot, and whoever else you need to take care of. I guarantee you, wings are not like a pet. Like, you're not going to have to like walk it in the park every morning if you're worried about that. So yeah, I think you're safe once you activate them. In fact, they become a resource and they work for you and not the other way around. So don't you worry. They're going to give you more energy for the kids and the husband. You're safe. Oh, I love that. Sorry, I'm just like, I looked at feeling like wings are something that needs to be earned. I love that comment. Thank you for putting it in chat. And that was definitely not random that I saw that. Yes. There is a little bit of that sense of like, am I deserving? Am I worthy? But here's the deal. You could not have possibly aligned with this workshop today if you were not worthy. If you're higher, because like, and yeah, I know like from your perspective, it felt like it was a very rational decision. You saw that I had this workshop and you're like, okay, like I'm going to make a mental note to go here. What actually ended up happening was your higher self was ready to activate the wings and potentially tried with you many times over. And there was a blocker. And then your higher self was like, okay, Mariya is doing this workshop. Let me bring my person to go into this. And they like dragged you into here. Or maybe they're like just showed it to you. And that's how you showed up and that's how you aligned with us. In other words, where I'm going with this is completely not random. And not only are you like worthy of your wings by now, because your higher self decides that no, not anybody else, because your higher self is going to give you the wings. Your higher self has already decided that you're worthy. Now you just have to get on board with that narrative. That's really the only thing, right? Like you may be the odd one out who still feels unworthy, but we're going to work on that. Yes, you guys totally were called here by your higher self, not anybody else, and your guides, I guess. So yes, you're 1,000,000,000% worthy and deserving of your wings. And, you know, wings are a gift. They're also a responsibility. Wings is something that like, it's going to be a lot harder to be inauthentic with your wings out. Like they're going to steer you towards like, again, your highest good, your path of authenticity, your true purpose, your North Star, all of that, right? So like, that's the other part about the wings. Like when they come out, it's game time. Like you're not going to be able to necessarily just sit in the background and be like, all of this mess in the world is not my business. I'm just going to sit here quietly in the corner and be okay with this. Or be not okay with it, but not say anything. No, your wings are going to be like, what are we going to do about this? It's getting bad out there. What are we going to do about this, right? So like that responsibility is also there. So what does it mean? That means that your higher self not only thought you were deserving of the gifts, but also thought you were ready to take on the responsibility. You were ready to take it to the next level. And that's what's beautiful about this. All right, my darlings. It is 1:51 on my clock. Let's come back here in 5 minutes at 1:56, random timing, to do the activation. So you have just a couple of minutes for the break. Sip some water, do what you need to do. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Yes.
we are back. If you guys want to take a moment to light up some incense, or if you want to smudge some more, I feel like that's really going to help us get in the zone. I'm burning rose today for no reason other than I love rose, and rose is actually very angelic. It is the highest vibrational of all flowers in an essential oil form. It is also the highest vibrational. So I'm just going to enjoy my rose sticks. All right. I guess I'm going to read the comments later, because this is the part for the journey. Hey, I received a rose too, Prunella. She mentioned she received the rose. I received the rose too into my heart space. It seems like it's a trend. Or maybe I was just like putting all the roses out there. I put all the roses behind me too. This felt like a rose garden. And here's the rose garden on my slide. Jesus, okay, roses everywhere. So it's officially a trend. It's a trend for this activation.
One thing that we can test, because Zoom just rolled out this new feature Q&A for meetings, and we've been replying back in messaging chat. But you can, guys, also try Q&A, and then after the activation, we're gonna have in the end Q&A session. So it will be maybe easier for us to look at the questions there. We haven't tested it yet, so it has to be at the bottom of your screen if you're on your computers. So click on Q&A, submit your question, we'll test it out. Or just keep sending them in chat, but we'll test Q&A as well. We'll definitely look at them. Yeah, I see one question just came in. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, my darlings, we are going to settle in for our activation, the most important part of why we all showed up here. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure that you are, yeah, you can sit down, or you can lie down. Of course, it may be logistically impossible for you. So whatever feels good to you in the moment, we're going to make it work regardless. And I want to invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, and what we're going to do is I just want you to rock left and right to the sides a little bit with your back, because it's almost like your back wants to get activated. It's almost like doing like a little back stretch, almost a little bit. You can move your shoulders a little bit because it's like your body wants to invite. It wants to invite almost like room for expansion. Like if you want to even stretch your arms, that is totally fine. Like just listen to your body and be guided by like how your back or your arms want to stretch. It's like your body wanting to naturally create room for what's about to happen and all of the energy, so that it's not there's no physical barrier for your wings to come through, and your wings can attach properly and very easily. And I'm also doing a little bit of an energy clearing on you right now. I'm just clearing the main cross of your body, the upper, the middle central axis, and also the horizontal axis of your body that come and meet in the higher heart area. So that wants to be cleared and cleansed at this point in time. Room needs to be created there. Now, just for the record, depending on where this activation goes, and I'm doing this in the flow based on your needs, first and foremost, depending on how deep the blockage is, I may need to use light language, just FYI. So if I start speaking in sounds you guys don't understand, know this is light language and it's in your highest good. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. We still have people joining. hope I can let everybody in. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to let anybody in anymore. I'm going to be in the meditation with you. All right. So I want you to focus on your breath. Just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And another deep breath in and another deep breath out. And I want you to start sending your breath to your heart space, to the beautiful emerald inside of your heart space. Expanding this part of your body with every breath that you take. So with every inhale, expand your heart and watch as the emerald light is starting to emanate from you, from your heart space, in all directions. You're becoming this emerald twinkle, twinkle little star. It's very beautiful, very serene, but also ready to be activated. Ready to be here in this moment, receiving what you're meant to receive as a culmination of your journey and a preparation for what's to come. And now, start sending your breath and this emerald energy towards your back, towards that activation point between your shoulder blades. Send it there with every breath. And watch as that portal of emerald light is starting to become activated in your back. Watch how little ripples are starting to show themselves at the very top, at the very center, emanating from the very center of that activation point. See it as reverberating emerald energy that is starting to fill up your entire back. Some of you are starting to get tingles right now. That is completely normal. I know I am. Or whatever other sensation. Some of you may feel the heat in that part of your body. Some of you may feel the cool. Some of you just may feel like that part of your body is coming alive. Like there is action there, it's some activity. And I want you to notice that there is an emerald color spiral that is starting to rotate around your activation point, again, in the back, between your shoulder blades, this activation point. And then allow that spiral to move back and forth, parallel to the floor, creating room and an opening and an expansion in the center of your body because something wants to come through. Something is ready to come through from this activation point of your body. And as this part of your body is activated, notice how something is emerging from inside and it's coming out, but that's not the wings yet. And this something looks like a twinkling star. It's like a star, a guardian star, or a guiding star. That star is being evacuated from your back and it goes up to the skies. But you know it is your star, your specific star, and it's your activation star. And this star is starting to shine the light all over you, showering you with its presence. And this star is here to oversee the activation, to oversee the work that you're here to do, to ensure that everything happens exactly how it is supposed to happen. This star is here to ensure, to remove any blockages that you may personally experience and shine the light on this activation today. And so allow yourself to feel into this part of your body in the back that is your activation point. And know that there are two wings that are ready to come and meet you. There are two wings that cannot wait to see the light of day, that cannot wait to start helping you on your journey, that cannot wait to be birthed, truly. But I also want you to get present to the fact that before these wings can come out, there is something that we're going to need to go through together to enable them to come out. And I want you to notice that there is a black sponge that is blocking the exit out of this activation point. So it's almost like the star came out and now there is this black sponge that's blocking the exit or the entrance, however you want to think about it, the opening. And so I want you to gently remove the sponge from the opening with your fingers. Gently, like don't go too hard, but take the sponge, bring it out and place it in front of you. Place that in front of you. For each one of you, this sponge may represent a different block or a different challenge. And so as you are present to the sponge that's in front of you, it's going to show you what is your number one blocker to receive this activation today. It may show you a visual. It may just give you a feeling or an insight. It may give you a thought. I'll stay quiet for about 10 seconds and let you receive what you're meant to receive. Now, whatever you have just received as your number one blocker, imagine that we're taking a white sphere of light and we are enveloping that blocker, that energy inside of that one sphere. And so everything that is related to this number one blocker is encapsulated within that one energy. And now I want you to take out your etheric hands, like your energy hands, right? Not your physical hands, your energy hands. And I want you to place them on the two sides of that sphere that now encapsulates your number one blocker for this activation. And I want you to start sending golden or white energy towards this sphere. And as you do, this white energy is starting to cleanse and clear everything inside of this globule of energy in front of you. So it's almost like your energy, the energy from your hands, gets inside of this sphere, and it's starting to erase any darkness or any negative emotion or any negative thought or any feeling or any memory or whatever that is in front of you that is holding you back. So it's softly starting to erase that blocker because it is time, because that is your wish. That is the desire of your higher self. And as such, it is the law. So allow yourself and the light from your hands to cleanse and clear away that block. And notice how the more light you start pouring into that sphere, you're able to start bringing your hands closer together because that sphere is getting smaller. That sphere is getting smaller, that blockage is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're able to bring your etheric hands together, completely together, and collapse that sphere into nothing, into thin air. So nothing remains. So there is no blocker. And now I want you to imagine that you are standing in the vast field And underneath your feet is the grass. And you are taking the energy from the earth, from Mother Gaia, through the soles of your feet. And that energy is going up your body, up through your knees and your thighs, and then your belly, to culminate in your heart. And we're going to allow that energy, the energy from Mother Gaia, to start building room, or helping you build room and space in your body for the wings to come. Because the Gaia, Mother Gaia, can help us also. It's not just our higher selves. And so imagine how this energy from Mother Gaia is building almost like an opening for your two wings to come out on both sides of your body. It's almost like she's creating a blueprint or an imprint for your wings to come through before they actually come through, bringing them into manifestation, creating room and space for them, becoming an enabler for them. And we're going to imagine that she creates a wing for us, the right wing. And we're going to imagine that that wing is white, just for the sake of this exercise. So she creates a wing for us. It's like she paints it for us. Now, this is not your wing yet, but it's a precursor to your wing. In the same way that you need baby teeth before your real teeth can come out. Kind of a similar concept. And now we're going to want to work on whatever is blocking your true right wing from coming out. Whatever is that feeling or sensation. And the first thing that I'm present to is a part of you that wants to hide, is a part of you that is afraid, is a part of you that doesn't really want to step up, is a part of you that does not want to really claim the responsibility. It's a part of you that perhaps accepted the responsibility in one of your previous lifetimes or earlier in this lifetime and got burned, figuratively or literally. It's a part of you that perhaps got shunned or ostracized or something else negative happened to you that was painful because of your gifts, because of your expression, because you were seen and you were heard. And you decided that the safest way to be is not step up, is not accept the gifts. It's kind of like keep it, small. And this part of you just wanted to stay safe. And so this part of you is a little bit in hiding even now. It is hiding a little bit from you. It is hiding a little bit from me. So why don't we invite this part of you to grab a seat in a comfortable armchair right in front of us and get comfortable, because we want to hear it out. We want to hear this part of you that would rather not step up and would rather not have the wings. And we're going to ask this part, what is it that it is here to do for us? What is its mission? What is its journey? Why does it exist? And its answer is, I'm here to protect you. I'm here to protect you. You're going to be safe. Just listen to me and you're going to be safe. I know how to stay small. I know how to protect you. But you also know that in this lifetime, you have come to be fully self-actualized, that you have a big road in front of you, and you have a big path and a big mission. And you didn't just show up in this pivotal moment for humanity for nothing. And you didn't come here to stay on the bleachers and play it small. You came here to be you in your full glory, wings included. And so I want you to gently touch the hand of this part of you that is the protector part, that is so convinced that your wings are going to get you harmed, that is so convinced that your wings are going to cause you pain, that is so convinced that the only way for you to be is without your wings. And that is the only way to safety. And so I want you to touch the wrist of this part of you. And I want that part of you to touch your wrist as well. So you should be clasping your hands at the wrist, if that makes sense. You're holding on to their wrist and they're holding on to your wrist. Wrist to wrist is a very effective form of communication where you can show this part of you what you know or what your subconscious knows. And so right now we're going to ask the universe to show this part of you, this aspect of you, your future, if you activate the wings. What's going to happen to you if you activate the wings? If it is so afraid that something wrong is going to happen or you're going to be in pain or what have you. So the universe is showing this part of you your future with wings activated. And maybe you are yourself going to get a few glimpses of what that looks like, what that future holds. And maybe you won't, but just trust that that is happening in the moment for you exactly as it is meant to. So now this aspect of you has seen everything that they need to see about your future with your wings activated. And when you unclasp your hands, you look at it, or you look at them and they look at you. And there are tears in their eyes. So they have seen your future and they have seen the truth. And the truth is that no harm is going to come to you from the wings. In fact, your wings are going to protect you. Their number one reason for being is protection. They're so good at protecting you against anything and everything. So they are here to protect and empower you all in one fell swoop. And so this part of you that has been in resistance to your wings is now nodding and starting to understand. And there are tears in their eyes because they finally see how much protection they have been denying you because they thought the wings are going to make you weird or seen or what have you. And so we're going to ask this part of you, now that they have seen that the wings are here to protect you, the wings are here to enable you, the wings are here to empower you. Is this part okay with you getting the wings? Ask this part, is this part okay? And see how this part is nodding. Yes, it's okay. Yes, I welcome the wings, this part says. Yes, I would love to have the wings. Thank you. And it is asking you, how can it help you? How can it assist you? Because it was trying to assist you in a way of resisting the wings. But now that you both are on the same page around the wings being good for you, can you give this part a particular task to do for you? Instead of protecting you from getting the wings? What could be most helpful to you? What would you like help with? Ask this part of you to do that for you. And watch how this part is nodding in excitement and agreement, wanting to help you with what you want help with. And it is ready to reconnect with the fullness of you, like a thread of golden light coming back into the fullness of you as the white or golden pillar of light, uniting with what you are. So now this part is no longer in resistance, but in acceptance that the wings are a good thing. And it wants you to have the wings. And now I want you to imagine that you are walking forward in the meadow, and the grass is all around you, and you're barefoot, and you keep walking forward. And you still have reservations about the wings, even the right one. And your reservations feel like your dad not being okay with them. And that's blocking your right wing. And you can't maybe quite explain why your dad maybe not okay with that. Or maybe you're just worried that the wings are just the beginning and they're going to open up something completely and entirely different in you. They're going to unlock something because you know that to be true. And you're really worried that that may damage your relationship with your dad or damage it further if it's already not great. But really you're worried about the judgment and not belonging, and almost like, funnily enough, being almost like energetically kicked out of your lineage for misbehavior. Like, what is this one doing with her wings in here? We're just humans and we walk. What are you doing with your wings? This is all rubbish. Like, just get a job or something. Like that is kind of like the pulling you down type of energy from the father figure. If that is not a father figure for you, it could be another male. And a male may represent authority. Authorities, whatever authorities look like, for you. Like there's just some authority out there. There's some judge out there. There's some executioner out there that's going to judge you for who you are. And they somehow are a male, right? So that could be what you're sensing if you're not seeing a dad here. And it's a little bit of that, block of being worried about being executed, so to say, or being fed to the wolves in a figurative sense, like not being protected, just being ostracized, being the odd one out, being the black sheep, not being welcome. All of that is condensed in this one blocker. And it feels really weird. And I would like you to be present with this part of you feels, what this aspect of you feels. It's almost like the moment you grow your wings, you're going to get beheaded or something. Like it's that level of like discomfort, like, no, what's going to happen? No. And so of course you're not going to want to activate your wings. Why would you? You're not suicidal. And so you're walking forward, and this part that feels very external, feels like somebody out there, like some male out there, whether that's a father or that's an executioner, that feels external to you, and that part of you is walking right next to you, and you're like, why are you here? And this part is like, because I'm always here with you. What do you mean? And I want you to get present to the fact that this executioner is always here with you 24/7. The judge is always here with you 24/7. The critic is always here with you 24/7. But I want you to understand that that is not a structure external to you. This is your internal structure. You are your own judge. You are your own executioner. You are the one, a part of you, in fact, who is willing to chop your own head off if you step out of line. It has never been external to you. It may have seemed that in a way from a past life because you have attracted that to you. But you have always been your own judge. You have always been the one that's really tough on you. Always. And now that is the part of you that is blocking your own power. That is the part of you that wants you to stay in line and be like everybody else. God forbid you become special. God forbid you become more. Because you become harder to control and harder to contain. even for the parts of you that would like to continue. And when you realize that you are your own executioner, you realize that what you have been afraid of all of this time is you, because you are your biggest threat. If you haven't exposed yourself to that execution internally, to that ridicule internally, to the judgment internally, you could never align to that in the outside world. And so I want you to understand that this part of you, the executioner, is going to be with you every day of your life until you choose otherwise. Because it is so ingrained in you. This part that wants to keep you in line, this part that wants to keep you in check, this part that does not want you to fly, God forbid, because you become uncontrollable. It wants you down, down, down on your knees, ideally, where it can have you. So look at this part of you straight in the eyes. And as hard as it may be, take them by the hands. Look into their eyes and take them by the hands. And ask them, why are you the way that you are? Why are you the way that you are to me? Why? Why are you this way? And you may notice that this part of you is starting to break out in tears, actually. Starting to cry. So why is it the way that it is to you? And so it's wiping its tears, and you know what its answer is? It's just because I want you to be loved. It's just because I want you to be loved that I'm this hard on you. It's just because I want you to be loved that I'm going to execute you all day, every day if I must, because I want you to be loved. And so this part has been on a mission to get you to be loved. For however long it's been with you, for some of you, it's been many lifetimes. The executioner is out there to get love. Now, wouldn't you agree that if we were after love, then there is a much simpler way to get there, a much less covert way of going after what we truly wanted, instead of executing ourselves and putting our head on the chopping block over and over and over again? There has got to be an easier way. And so you place your hand on the heart of your executioner, the inner part of you, and you send them love. You send them love from your higher self and the universe and the angels and your spirit guides and your own heart, and as much love as you can possibly fathom, and even more love, and multiply that by 100 and 1,000 and 1,000,000. Until the avalanche of love coming and streaming into the heart of this aspect of you is so big. It is infinite. And watch what happens with the heart space of this executioner part of yours. Watch as their heart softens. Watch as their heart's shell comes off. And what blooms inside is a rose. The beautiful rose of an alive, living and breathing heart that wants to experience life. And because you have sent so much love to this part of you, it is starting to send love back to you, because it is a loop. It is cyclical. The love that you give always comes back to you. So it's starting to place its arm, its hand on your heart space, sending you so much love. And there is this virtuous cycle that is being created where you give and receive love. And I want you to notice what happens to your executioner part, because it no longer looks or feels like the executioner, does it? What does it look like to you? It has transformed completely. What is this part? Whatever it looks like to you, it's completely transformed. And that is the joy and the blessing of an open heart. The open heart is truly, truly, infinitely miraculous. And notice that what this part of you now wants for you is something else entirely. It just wants you to be happy. And it already knows that you're loved. You already are loved by default. No, you don't need to execute yourself every which way till Sunday for that to happen. You are loved today, forever, always, through all dimensions. You've made it. And so just watch how this part of you is starting to merge with you. It's like your hand, their hand, your heart is their heart, your face is their face, until they completely dissolve into you, becoming a part of you, fortifying you from within, giving you so much love, more love than you know what to do with, and still giving you more. And so you're walking forward, and you're noticing that in the meantime, while we were doing all this healing, Mother Gaia has created an imprint of the left wing for you also. So now you have two imprints of the wings, and we're going to be walking forward and doing the healing on whichever wing wants to be healed or unblocked. And so you're walking forward, and you're in the meadow. And you're starting to feel a little bit the weight of your future wings in your back. Some of you may be even called to move your back slightly. You need to stretch. That's totally cool. And as you're walking forward, I want you to notice how you are, out of nowhere, finding yourself amidst a river of crude oil. And it comes maybe up to your chest area. So your head is above the liquid. And this river, even if we can call it such, represents the inertia and the counter forces of light. Something that, so essentially all of the karma, drama, dust, debris, all of the negative happening that you have experienced, but also is true for your lineage. Both of your lineages, doesn't really matter. And so this darkness is creating a little bit of the counterbalance or a counter effect to your journey. So it's hard for you to walk forward. And I want you to still keep walking forward. Just baby steps, right? And you would notice that this crude oil may be a little bit sticky, or it may really prevent you from walking. It makes the walking really, really hard. And so what I would like for you to do is understand that you don't have to repeat the same cycles over and over just because this is what your lineage used to do. That you can literally choose to rise up. So I want you to imagine how an invisible force is lifting you up from that river. And now, not even your feet are touching this murky, crude oil-like liquid in the water. So you're really floating above water. And then I want you to notice how a waterfall of white light is emerging. Just literally the skies are opening up, and exactly where you are, the waterfall of white light is emerging. And it's starting to clean you up and clear you up And what's happening is these blueprints for the wings in your back, they're starting to fill up with like light. It's almost like they're becoming more real. Like there used to be the traces or like the bare bones of the wings. And now it's like wings are starting to grow up. Sorry, like feathers are starting to grow out, or like whatever, tissues are starting to like come out, just thanks to the activation from this waterfall from source. So they're starting to fill up. And I want you to notice how the time has come for you to release some baggage, some deep, deep, deep baggage. Some things that may have been in your lineage, some things that may have been just present for you since you were a kid, some heaviness. There is some heaviness that's weighing you down. And I want you to notice that that heaviness looks like shackles on your feet. So unshackle yourself and drop these like heavy shackles into the murky water and let the water do with it what she might. So unshackle your right foot, unshackle your left foot. Have all of these heavy chains, these clanking chains, all of this old rusty metal or just heavy metal drop into the water. And allow yourself to just release this heaviness. And whatever else needs to come off you, if you're noticing any chains right now, anything that's holding you back or holding you down or holding you hostage, any cages, any sets of armor, like or any other metallic objects on you, colors, other shackles on your wrists, handcuffs, like any of that, just release it, drop it, let it go. And with it, drop the heaviness of your lineage, like the heavy karma of your lineage. You can literally drop it into the river. That is not irresponsible of you. That is not cheating. It is you liberating yourself. Auta itu shinte heia, ortu ita into I, ortu itu ita reia, rantu itu ituri, rotu itu isto herti isti, oru uiti I, ai oci, ai eia, ori inta, ori e, ortu ria, ortu heia, ostu intu uci e, ortu aia, ortu oie, inta ira, ortu I, ista otu uto esta, madre ista eto u ontru reina roto heri, ontru itu oturo, roto itu roni, roto itu heti I, hashi, uci, otu oni, ori ita, oru re, ronti ira, ronti era, ortu ista poru re, horumita, horureja ira, ontru oture, ranti ari, ranti reri, ranti uti aci e, horurita, horureti, onu iro horu e, para heri ita ishi, ontu ira utu u, ari aci, ari reshi, untu iya, utu u, utu eta, utu re, uturutu usha ida ina ista hotu ira oci ita ata I, aru hantu aru rea, aru ichi atu re poru into otu he into poru itu re. And notice how the sun is starting to shine right above your head. And notice how the sun is starting to shine upon you, all of your cells, turning you gilded, turning your skin a little bit gilded, and fortifying and infusing your wings with the purest form of sunlight available on planet Earth right now. And so your wings are starting to become fuller. Your wings are starting to come into their power. Your wings are starting to show up in a way that you perhaps did not expect them to show up. Because you are now lighter. You are now brighter. You are now releasing all of these negative programming from your lineage, both sides of your lineage, enabling yourself to float up into the sky. You can go a little bit higher even. Now your wings are not moving yet, but you can still float up, 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 closer to the sun. Enough so that you're face to face with the sun. You're really close to the sun, face to face. And as you're looking upon the face of the sun and the sun is looking at you, notice how this layers of grime are starting to come off you. It's almost like a solar shower, but like with heat. It's like this fire of the sun. It's a fiery, feisty spirit. It's like removing this darkness and this blockages away from the inside of your organs, inside of your body, all of your tissues, all of your cells. And it's starting to drip down like this. It looks like crude oil dripping down from your fingers and your toes and just like dropping deep down below where the river is, that river that we're no longer concerned with. Just allow yourself to be cleansed in this way. Now notice how a hand is coming out from the clouds. It's a huge hand. It's a hand of source. And the hand is picking you up. And you're sitting comfortably on this hand. And it is carrying you forward. And it is carrying you towards an ocean. And gently depositing you in front of the ocean. And then this hand is dropping a few different colors into the ocean in front of you. It's powdered colors. So it's going to be powder of 3 different colors. If you cannot see what's happening, that's totally okay. Just know that it is still happening in your greatest good. And so source consciousness is just dropping 1 pinch of 1 color into the ocean. And that water is turning, like whatever is the color of the powder, that is what the ocean becomes. And then source drops another pinch of powder into the ocean. And it is turning that other color, that new color that just got dropped into the ocean. And then the 3rd pinch goes into the ocean. And that is the 3rd color that you need. And now watch that, how source consciousness takes a large spoon and starts to stir the ocean so that the powder can be fully dissolved inside of the ocean. This is your personal healing and activation ocean. It exists precisely for this moment and for this moment alone. So I want you to step into this ocean and walk forward and allow the water to cleanse you and heal you in a way that only the water that comes straight from source consciousness knows how. And watch as big chunks of darkness or clouds or like little dirt and debris, they're just leaving your auric field and they're being washed away and they're floating away from you. And you're no longer going to have to worry about that. So you're just releasing. You're releasing energetically any and all that is not a vibrational match to the future version of you that you came here to be today. And watch how you are transformed. There's something about you that's going to start to transform. It could be the clothing that you're wearing. It could be the hair. Maybe the hair is going to become longer. Maybe it's going to turn golden or whatever is your version. Maybe it's going to turn pink. Something is going to start becoming different, shifting about you through this healing ocean. Just allow this process to happen naturally. Allow yourself to take in. Now, what I would like for you to do is absorb the waters of this ocean that are made specifically for you, like your personal concoction from source. Start absorbing them into every cell of your body. First, through your skin. Allow yourself to absorb all this light, all this frequency. And allow it to start moving things around in your body the way it needs to. It needs to move certain things around, shuffle things around inside of you. That's totally normal. It's preparing, it's making room for the new you. Now notice it wants to do something around your activation point in the back as well. So it wants to do something there, almost like moving the Legos or like moving some blocks or like little pieces, particles over there, preparing that activation portal, or they're charging it. And notice how through all of that, your wings are becoming even more pronounced. They're becoming even more full. They're becoming more embodied. There's more of them. And it almost feels like energy is starting to course through them. And as you step back onto the bank, the shore, I guess, of the ocean, one last thing that you see in front of you is you inside of a cage. What is this, might you wonder? This is the victim and the martyr, the part of you that's not enough and not good enough and not deserving to receive the wings or be happy or be fulfilled or be on your path. You're just not deserving of anything, and nothing you ever do is ever good enough. You can always do better. And yeah, and that's why you deserve to just sit in a cage and be jailed, and that's that. But as you notice, this part of you that's inside the cage is really like a bird that wants to fly. And it's so tired of this cage, oh my God. It's sick and tired of being constrained. It's sick and tired of being told what to do. It's sick and tired of dimming its own shine and dimming its own light just to fit in, and God forbid to not come across as something other or different or crazy or weird. And it's really, really tired of this whole perfectionism thing. It's just really, it's tired of having to be perfect and needing to be perfect and all of these templates and all of these things that it needs to do, and trying to people please and trying to put, and putting everybody else above you in the chain of command, and always putting yourself last. It's just sick and tired of all of that. And now is the time. The time has come to liberate yourself. And so allow this part of you that is so sick and tired of cages and being small and feeling small and being told what to do. Just allow it to fully come out. Do you know that you've always been the one with the little key for the cage? You've always been the one. So take the key and unlock yourself. And allow yourself to come out. Allow yourself to come out into the sun, out of the cage, leaving whatever the remaining restraints are inside of that cage. Leaving the ifs and the whens and the whys and all of the conditions. Leaving the not enoughness and not good enoughness behind. Just drop them like rotten fruit. Just walk forward, and like all of these things are dropping like rotten fruit, and you're just letting them go. I'm not enough, drop. I'm not good, drop. I have to be X, Y, and Z for somebody else, drop. Like, just drop all of these constraints. You don't need them. You are a child of God. You are a child of Source. You are a creator, creatrix in your own right. You don't need people to tell you what to do. Your heart knows what you need to do. Your heart is your only guardian and guide. That's who you listen to. And so just allow yourself to keep walking and releasing. Ortu mitu ishti, ortu mitu rea, ortu mitu rita, ortu mitu re, rata ita ia, rata itu reshi, rata itu rea, anda itahe, para itaia, para itareia, onto ichiui, onto ichue, era itaia, anto ituira, uru itahea, uru hitaho, anto ituroti, onto iturira, ara titaruni, utu oru I, ashti hari uchi, ashti hari kreia, pari nitarita, para nitahe. And as you're walking forward, this liberated version of you, this light version of you, the lightest you have ever been, you come upon the large hand of source consciousness, the same hand that just gave you a ride and that was stirring things for you in the ocean, that same hand. Only it looks golden. And this hand is the size of your entire body. And so source is putting its palm as best as it can to fit, because they're quite small comparatively. Source consciousness, it's putting its hand, its palm, over your heart space. And it's starting to send you massive amounts of golden light. And that golden light is starting to penetrate your heart and then go down into the activation point. More and more and more and more. And you notice that this activates your back even further. And you notice like a bunch of like sacred geometrical symbols in your back. It's like one after the other, like all these circles and then diamond-shaped things and Vesica Pisces, if you even know what that is. But it's the concentric circles, like all of them, just like all of these sacred geometrical symbols in gold are starting to like show up on your back. And like there's so much activity. And then I want you to notice how there's like this push, like a massive push of golden light streaming down from source to you. And it's like it's powering some type of battery inside of you. It's like that there was a battery in there and you didn't even realize. And that battery is at, 0 right now, but like it's starting to climb up. And that battery can only be fed from this energy from source in your higher self, golden energy. That battery is now at 15% charged, 25% charged, 35% charged, 55% charged, 71% charged, 88% charged, 92% charged, 96% charged, 100% charged. This battery contains the power of call it the atomic bomb, to activate your wings. The wings that you have behind your back right now are the shell that your wings are going to emerge out of. So they're the outer cover, if you will. It's kind of like the eggshell. Your true wings are inside still. They're being protected by this. So you have this battery inside that's going to activate it. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. When I say 1, I'm going to clap my hands. When I clap my hands, what you need to do is burst that battery that we just charged. And as you burst it, like allow it to just come apart like an atomic bomb. And what I need you to do is it needs to fuel those wings. Like it needs to go into your wings, the back of your, in the back. So that's what you need to do. Once again, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. When I say 1, I clap my hands. You burst that bubble, like you burst that battery, and that intense energy is going to go into your back. That's what you need to do. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow that energy to go into your wings and like literally crack them open. Like crack that shell open. That shell that looks like the wings, just crack it open. Like allow that energy to just like remove it. Like everything falling apart, and what emerges is a set of wings. Do you guys see them? You see your wings? Yes. Yes. Allow them to come out fully. Like if yours is stuck, just allow it to come out. Like release the muscles if you need to. Allow them to come out fully. The right, the left, both of them in full glory, exactly as they're meant to. Full of light, full of promise, full of you, full of the energy of your higher self and source. And now just make sure that your wings are fully attached to your back. And we're going to create the bridge between your wings. It's almost like, but move from the center. Like it's like your wings have a common center, right? Like they meet in the middle where the central axis is. So that is the part where we're going to create a bridge between them and your heart chakra. Like a bridge, like create literally a bridge of light between your wings and your heart. And fill it up with emerald, beautiful emerald light. Amplify it. Amplify that bridge. Make it bigger. Make it 100% stronger. Make it 100 times bigger, 1,000 times bigger, 1,000,000 times bigger. I want a big, fat, huge portal between your wings and your heart. I want a highway. And just watch this green energy just go front, back, to the side, exactly how it needs to. And watch how this energy, so essentially how this highway now invites the energy of your wings. And here's what I want you to sense. So remember the 3 axes? We're going to draw them. So focus on your wings. Remember that there is the central axis that connects the 2 wings, right? Draw the axis on your left wing, and draw the same axis on your right wing. And now allow your higher self to power all 3 of these axes from top to bottom. And just watch as it sends, your higher self sends massive amounts of golden lights along the 3 highways. And notice any sensations in your body. Some of you may even be getting tingles in your fingers. And now condense that energy from the 3 axes. It's like bring it all to the center and send that to your heart space. Do you see how much energy that is? Can you feel it? All of that energy. And now it's supposed to split in 2, and a part goes into your solar plexus down, and another part goes up to the throat. Let's focus on the solar plexus first. So like that energy from your higher self through the heart goes down to the solar plexus, and allow it to really rotate inside of your solar plexus, shifting it, healing it, changing it, powering it, creating a room and a place and a home for itself inside of your solar plexus chakra, empowering you. And going up through the throat, watch as this massive amounts of energy is going through the throat chakra. It's almost like coming out of your neck area or throat area. Because now that energy wants to be expressed, that energy wants to be liberated. It wants to get busy. It wants to do things. And allow this energy, the energy of your wings, to also build a home for itself in your throat center. So your throat center welcomes it instead of repelling it. Yes. And now that your wings are out, imagine that there is like a spark of energy that's tracing the outline of your wings, whatever they look like. It's just tracing the outline of the left wing and then the right wing. And as it does, I want you to notice that it starts to create sparkles. It's like glitter everywhere. That is the power of your wings, like when they're fully activated. It's like glow, glitter, like it's like magic dust. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like that kind of sparkly sensation all over. It's like, it's when you're looking at something that is so full of life, and it like gives away and emanates light, but also like gives away the sparkles, like a magical object, because your wings are truly that magical and they're truly that powerful. If you guys want to do something fun or like maybe weird, I don't know, depending, imagine rolling your wings, you know, like rolling them like in like almost like unfurling them, furling and unfurling them. So like it's like you're rolling them into, what is the word? Like a, you know, papyrus scroll. I know you think wings have like probably bones and whatnot, but these are etheric wings, so you can do whatever you want with them. Like imagine furling them towards the common center, towards the very center of the central axis, and then unfurling them. Furling and unfurling. And like do that a few times. And sense into them. Do you feel it? It's like, it's subtle, but it's there. I'm also sensing for some of you, the muscles in the back are starting to like become activated because I'm getting the pain in my right shoulder. So imagine like gently massaging that part of your body, like etheric body, with your fingers, like spreading the energy around so that your body can get better used to the weight of these things. So like gently massage the parts where the wings are coming out of your body so that your body is better equipped at just dealing with this much energy, with this much firepower, if you will. And now, whatever is essentially your higher self has an intention to infuse your wings with a particular kind of energy today that you may be missing or you need in the next part of your journey. And so imagine that that energy is starting to come down from your higher self through the three main axes, the main arteries, if you will, of your wings. And that energy is just coming down. Some of you may be present to a particular color of that energy. So just allow yourself to receive and watch how your wings maybe are changing as your higher self is infusing them with this beautiful, beautiful energy, beautiful, beautiful light. You may even ask your higher self what it is here to represent, what it means, what it stands for, and why you need it. All right, my darlings, you're ready to softly start coming back. Start moving to the side if you're sitting down. Just gently rocking to the side. You can do back and forth if that feels good. And you may even feel like you want to stretch, like do a little cat stretch of your back. That is completely normal. It now has an extension that it hasn't had before. So it's understandable that it may want to stretch. And if you want to stretch your arms or your hands, that is completely normal as well. Whenever you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat. Is it normal to feel dizzy? Yes. After this much energy infusion, yes. Unfortunately, it is. It's going to pass. It's like a temporary thing. Like you're not going to feel dizzy for all that long. Yeah. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Everybody's like speechless. full of rainbows. Yes, I love that. Is the color I saw real? Yes, it's real. As real as anything in this world. Prunella. Yes, don't forget to drink lots of water. Thank you so much, Alina, after this, right? Because this type of activation, we just scratch the surface. Like the wings are out, but the wings still need to be, you know, worked in a little bit. It's kind of like driving the vehicle for the first time. You're like, where are the buttons? You know, I'm still not used to like anything in this new car. So that is a little bit how you're going to feel. Now, I will show you before we go into the Q&A. Well, just wanted to show you the slides because if somebody needs to jump, and I know we're massively over time, which again, I need to probably just phase the music that my circles are going to be longer than I originally anticipate. This is, you're going to have these slides with you. I'm just going to show you the practices that are here really quickly. Further activation. Practice number 1, getting used to your wings. Has like a bunch of different exercises for you to get used to your wings that you can do in your own time. Fortify your wings. That is this, protective code that we talked about. Is going to make your wings stronger. Is going to make them impervious to whatever external influence. Use your wings to accumulate energy overnight. A practice. I put it here for you in case you wanted to accumulate any energy. Use your wings to help you manifest. And then this one is use the wings to help release unwanted energies. So that is where we're using these points of focal release from the wings, the tips. They're really good at helping you release stress or anything unwanted. So really use and abuse these practices. So just wanted to show those to you before we go into the spiritual Q&A in case somebody needs to jump. Also, if you guys do need to jump, you're going to have the recording. We're going to send the recording after this. So you could always watch the Q&A afterwards. Just FYI, letting you know. Okay, now the Q&A. Sorry, I'm just also going to read your comments just for one quick second. Yes, heat in the back. Yes, some people feel heat, some people feel tingles. Somebody was surprised by their wings. Yes, the wings can surprise you. Oh, yay, dragon wings. Amazing. The wings can surprise you and they will continue to surprise you. And by the way, you can have conversations with your wings afterwards and meditations with your wings to fully understand how yours are particular and how yours are different and how yours are special. Because everybody's a special in a different way. And so like getting to know your wings is very, very needed and very, very paramount. And your first set of wings is really important. Like your higher self, like think about it, like your higher self is so selective and so deliberate and like they could select from so many options. So there's a reason why your higher self sent you this particular set. Like it's not random. It's extremely, it's like there was a lot of math that went into calculating what shape, what color, what everything. And so that's why yours are definitely special. And understanding in what way they're special, I think could be very fun. Yeah, if your battery died during any of this, you can watch the recording after. Yes, sore. Yes, me too. Because I feel essentially what you guys are feeling collectively, like my back is definitely in pain right now. Because I'm also very sensitive. And sometimes like when we're processing something on a collective level, if somebody else, cannot take the full grunt of the feelings, somebody else who's an empath is going to have to take it for them. So I'm feeling all of your unprocessed emotions over here, and it's wonderful. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, feathers on the floor, fantastic. Well, thank you guys. Let's do the little Q&A, whatever you guys wanted to ask. Sergey, how are we doing this? You're the boss.
Yeah, so we have a couple of Q&As in chat. So I can read it, Mariya, or you can open yourself. It's at the bottom Q&A. It has 5 questions right now. So you can go check them out. And then after that, we'll do maybe a couple of live Q&As as well. For live Q&As, raise your hand, and then I'll randomly pick people.
All right. So I'm gonna start reading. Could the next week be challenging for uncovering trauma or difficult experiences? No, not necessarily. Well, I don't know. When the wings are activated, they definitely, like I said, they're the first domino. What happens after is really unique to you. I wouldn't say that the next week is going to be difficult. You could be more sensitive, so just be prepared. You could be low energy. That's another very possible outcome of this, just because Not because there's less energy coming into your body, there's more energy coming into your body. It's just your body needs to adjust. And as it adjusts, it uses energy up to adjust. And that's why it's like a little bit backwards. So you may feel a little bit like you may not feel very social. You may feel like a little bit of a hermit. Like it's a time for integration. Like truly you're meant to integrate. You're meant to be with yourself. You're meant to meditate longer, maybe drink a lot of water. Don't necessarily like overexert yourself for the next week. I wouldn't say the next week is going to be challenging for uncovering trauma, but certain things may bubble up to the surface. So just be prepared that that may happen, and it's all in your highest good. I imagined my wings for the first time driving in the forest and wanted to reach out and touch the trees energy on both sides, and then there were. Can it really happen that easily, or was my imagination an overdrive? And no, it can happen very easily. It can happen spontaneously. Sometimes wings can even just be birthed in your sleep. It all depends. Like it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom and like, fighting for every single thing. No, sometimes wings just come out. And so yes, it can happen easily. What do fairy wings look like? Fairy wings differ. There is the traditional fairy wings are transparent. They're transparent, but they have this glare where it's like all colors of the rainbow. So what is it? Holographic is the word that I'm looking for. They look holographic very often. And fairy wings, very typical, also butterfly wings, but just transparent and holographic. They can also be slightly elongated. Fairy wings can also be like dragonfly wings. So hopefully that helps you. But also, just like fairy hair colors, there are some fairies, especially with the gentry, meaning like not the baby not the pixies, but like the gentry, the humanoid fairies that are considered to be the royalty of the fairies. Their wings are like a fashion statement very often, and those can be pink, those can be a weird shape, those can be like fluffy. I've seen like feathery, but like not like feathery, like almost like peacock feathers. Like fairies go wild with their wings, just saying. So if you got lucky, like you probably have very fun wings. Yeah, okay, let's see. I lost connection. Did I receive the wings? Okay. Floral, for you, if you haven't heard the rest of it, I recommend redoing the meditation just to be safe. In your own time when you receive the recording, just redo it. Because like yours are out, but there's a little something that still needs to be activated. So it cannot hurt you to redo the meditation one more time. When you said visualize a hand of source, it triggered the memory of this hand of source that lifted me for over 20 years. It lifted me 20 years ago. And then I remember falling down. When you feel like you're falling down, it's really it's an experience of incarnation. It feels like falling down, actually. So like essentially, like what you're describing, Mariya, is like a memory of being out of body and then being in body. So like when your higher self streams its consciousness to this level, to this third dimensional reality, it feels like falling. It actually, do you guys know on like roller coasters when there are drops? That's what it feels like. That's why I hate drops on roller coasters. Because like incarnating, the actual physicality of it is not the fun process. Like the moment when you are your higher self and then you're like in the body, it's like going down, not fun. How do my wings connect with my archetypes and mission? A complete correlation. Your wings always help you on your mission. So whatever you see is they're a reflection of who you are. They're a reflection of an archetype or a being or an energy that you're meant to bring forth. So really, they're like, that's why they're symbolic. I hope this makes sense. How can we incorporate our etheric wings into client healing sessions? Protection, a stronger, very quick, strong protection, to protect your healing session. It can amplify your own energy. So if you're an energy healer that heals with your hands, for instance, gather the energy from your wings from all the three axes, send them to your heart, and then send them to your hands. You're going to be a lot more amplified. But there are many. And in fact, you're meant to improvise with your wings. Like you're meant to get to know them and you're meant to feel into them. And hopefully these 5 exercises towards the end of this presentation are going to help you start getting a feel for it. And then it's improvising from there. Is it possible that I activated 2 sets at the same time? Yes, it's possible. It's possible that you've activated 2 sets at the same time. Sometimes when, you've been blocked and all of a sudden there's no block, you have assistance in trying to release things just start coming out and like in hordes. It's very possible. Yeah, at one point, like when I was activating things from like my activation point, it was like a 2-hour-long activation and like 30 objects came out of my back. It was brutal. It was brutal. But yes, like the more the merrier, I guess. That's how they think upstairs. I napped accidentally. Should I be concerned? I mean, depends on where. I don't think you should be concerned, but if you like missed half of the meditation, you probably want to redo it. Are my wings really golden? It says anonymous participant. I cannot see your name, but yes, whoever wrote this, their wings are golden. Is it okay to feel the wings but not quite see them? Yes, 100%. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. They're still there. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh, what other circles do I have planned? Well, you guys, you want me to spoil all the fun? Well, I don't know.
There's definitely one coming. The rest is surprises.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm strongly considering doing one on releasing the karma of Atlantis. I think that could be really, really powerful. I think a lot of us need it. That's the more I guess controversial of the ones that I'm going to be offering in the coming days. Months. About once a month is what I'm going to be offering them, but sometimes sometimes I may choose to keep a couple of weeks depending on what happens. Let's see what else you guys have. Yes, Stella, you're asking about the colors of your wings. Can they be pearly white and pink and purple? Yes, yours have multiple colors. In fact, there are more colors in there than what you're even, what you've described here. It's yours feels like very rainbowy. A lot of, gosh, how did I? Sorry, you guys, I'm losing my own track in all of these questions. How did I lose my track? I will find it. I will find my way. Is it possible? Okay, 2 sets. Okay, I think I found where I was. My throat started to hurt when we jumped on the call all week. Okay, acting up. So what you're present to, remember how I said the wings are connected? So the throat and the stomach acting up. That's your throat chakra and the solar plexus. So like your body already knew that it needs to prepare for these 2 chakras to go through a massive upgrade is what it is. Again, this is a very guided process, so it all happens. It may happen for you, like the work may begin like weeks even prior to the circle. Should I hold off on doing energy work for a while? No, you don't have to. It's not required. The only thing is you may be a little bit more low energy, but no, it's not like right now, it's not like recovering from surgery. It's not the same thing at all. Like your wings are out and like you're perfectly fine. Can animals see our wings? Yes. Yes, they can. Well, especially cats. I mean, I guess we should define animals. Cats are very perceptive. Dogs are very perceptive. Snakes are extremely perceptive. They see multiple dimensions. So it depends on the animal, I guess. Lizards are okay perceptive. So hamsters are okay perceptive. Probably not going to see your wings if it's a hamster. Not all the way. What do fire wings mean? I had 2 sets of wings activated. First fairy wings and then fire wings. The broader answer to your question is fire wings can mean a bunch of different things. In your particular instance, it's part, so where I was going with this is you should be asking your own wings why they're fire or why they're fairy, like, because the answer is going to be unique to you. In your particular case, it's twofold. One is the protection that you require is fire protection. So a lot of the things can be burned in your auric field without kind of like getting into your core. That's one. And 2, there is a little bit of that, active energy of like, remember I mentioned a little bit of an activist energy. You have a little bit of that rebel in you. And so the wings, the fire wings are usually the wings of the warrior. Now, again, we shouldn't take this as in a literal sense. So, but you know, there's definitely something there around either you have to be activating to other people, or there is a little bit of that mission for you to go out there and ignite the world.
I see a lot of questions about
Yeah.
just in general asking, I haven't seen my wings. Mariya, can you tell the color of my wings? And also there are different shapes and forms of the wings, and a lot of questions about how do I use them. So maybe there is just one answer that fits all, just generally how to connect, understand maybe in the meditation, better process what happened.
Yeah. So let's first start with maybe how do you work with the wings? Beyond the 5 exercises that I've given you, and I strongly encourage that you start with the 5, truly. I think you would get great results if you just feel into what happens when you, like first thing in the morning, say as a part of your meditation, you start infusing your wings with different energies and see how that feels. So you activate, or like you get present to the fact that you have these 3 highways, essentially, right? That these 3 pillars of light, or the axes, as I call them, of the wings. And you ask your higher self to start sending you energy through those and activating you, like sending you the blue, sending you the red, sending you the yellow, and feeling how it feels in your body. So that is the first thing, is like just start getting present to the fact that you now have more of your energy body available to you. The wings work in the background by making you more powerful. So there's nothing that you need to do specifically to make it happen, because imagine that you used to have one vessel, or like one battery that could be charged, and now you have 3 batteries that could be charged. Like, so you triple the power now almost, just because you have the wings. It happens in the background. You don't necessarily need to do anything. It is nice though to be able to program your wings to help you with something specific, right? Because that way your wings are not just going above, kind of like going on their own merry-go-round and like determining what's in your highest good. And they may be working on something you may be completely unaware, because they're a part of you, but they're also almost like have a mind and consciousness of their own a little bit. And they may be steering things in a certain direction for you. But you can be very deliberate with them and be like, hey, help me get a new job. Or like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. Like, can you give me the power or the energy to do this? Or can you help me release this trauma? Or can you help me do this healing or whatever, right? And like ask your wings for assistance as if it was a spirit guide. So I think that's like a very broad general piece of advice that I would like to give you. Your wings, like I said, are also here to activate other things. So what would be interesting for you is, what I would not be surprised, and for a lot of you, and in about a month from now, your point of activation is going to start becoming active again, wanting to release something else and wanting to birth something else. So just be present if you're starting to feel some weird sensations in the back, if you're starting to feel the heat, or just like somehow started, like even if it's back pain, about a month from now, 4 to 6 weeks, new things may want to start coming out, right? So that's another thing. Pay attention to your back and what you're feeling. And if it starts to act up, go through a meditation, activate that activation point with a green spiral, and see what wants to come out, because something else may want to come out into your auric field, whether that's an artifact, an object, something to make you stronger. I don't know. It'll come out and help you. Otherwise, wings, like I said, work in the background, and for instance, their protective power is always on. Right. So now you can be like, I don't know, for instance, if you were afraid to be on social media and be seen, now you have your wings to protect you. You can amplify that protection if you choose to, if you need it for something, or like somebody mentioned, if you want to protect your loved ones, right? You can ask your wings to protect your kids, etc. So set protections. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I answered your question. There's so much you can do with the wings, frankly. I feel like I can go for the next 30 minutes giving you examples. Now, if you couldn't see your wings, it may be helpful to do a little meditation after this, where you go up to the level of your higher self Like literally, you would imagine your consciousness shooting up from your crown, up. You imagine yourself, you find yourself in a white circular chamber, which is where your higher self hangs out usually. And then there's going to be a big ornate mirror in there. What you want to do is you want to push yourself in front of a mirror, stand in front of the mirror, and like almost like look at your wings. Ironically, if you haven't been able to see your wings in this meditation, it may be easier for you to look at yourself in the mirror and see what the wings are. Because it's like the wings sometimes are a blind spot. You may be able to see what they are, what color they are, even if you haven't been able to see today. Also, you know, a group setting is really, really good for meditation, for activation. It may be a little less optimal for tuning into your own specific set of wings because there are so many frequencies and so many people, and you may even be like, oh, are these my wings or are these this this other person's wings? Because like it's all kind of a little bit entwined. And so you may notice that when you're just on your own, in your own zone, and just going up to the level of your higher self, you will be able to see better. I hope this helps.
There is another theme about how often should I do this practice, and some people suspect they have more wings than just one, and it's basically how to activate more wings. Is it like on a monthly basis, you know, like one win a month, or something like that?
It really depends on the person. Some people are just meant to have one set of wings. Some people are meant to have 30 sets. It really depends. Like it's such a big, there's no consistency even in this group alone. I will tell you that with mine, the wings need to hatch on their own. Once you remove that first block, the wings need to hatch on their own. Like you cannot force them once a month. Like they may want to come, like the next one may want to come in 3 years, and then 16 pieces, like 16 sets may want to come in the same week. And you're going to be like, there's no rhyme or reason for why you just did that. Like, why wouldn't you just pace it? And the answer is your higher self knows best. And so they're sending you things at exactly the pacing that, you know, they need to send you things to. Now, remember, the wings are activated first by your higher self. They're not by you. It's like your higher self needs to upstairs decide you need more wings and now is the time. Send you the wing into your activation point, like a parcel, like a package, like a letter, and you're here to receive it. So what you should be listening to is the language of your body. Does your back feel like it has gotten mail? Does it feel like it has an unopened package? Like, are you sensing anything in there? If not, there's probably no more wings wanting to come out. If you're sensing something, there's probably wings wanting to come out. Some of them may just come out randomly when you're meditating. Other wings are going to be blocked again. You could try to refer to the same activation that we did if you're blocked. That's probably going to be my best advice on how to unblock it. Otherwise, refer to that practice that I gave at the beginning where imagine the block is this darkness, go straight in the middle of it, ask the block, what are you? Why are you blocking me? How can I release this?
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, how much time do we have left? Because maybe we could take a couple.
You mean how much time do we have left on a workshop that was supposed to end an hour ago? I don't know. That's a tricky question. I don't know. Let's do, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe of questions.
All right, so let's do. So I'm gonna call your name, and I'm so sorry if I'm gonna butcher your name. And you're gonna unmute yourself, ask the question, then if there is a follow-up question, then mute yourself back and I'll pick another person. All right, let's go. Lana A first.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mariya. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. Well, first of all, I just want to say I just got your second book, so I have both of them. I'm very excited about that. And just wanted to ask you, I'm not sure. So when we go into meditation, I don't know if you can tell or see what wings I got, because I had like a little bit of a difficulties going into the whole process. But somehow at the beginning, maybe you see the color, the shape, or the type. I don't know, because in my mind, I was thinking about the dragon wings. But while in the practice, I saw more like, and not completely, not I think maybe like trying to see, but somehow more like an eagle, almost like what's in your pictures. And
yeah, I see them more as bird wings. Eagle is not a bad analogy, only they're really blue for you, like cobalt blue, deep blue. And that's the symbology of the blue ray, the ray of Archangel Michael. So read up on the blue ray. Oh, the blue flame. You can look up, you can watch my videos on the blue flame. So blue flame is all about truth telling. So, and that also sends you to your throat center, right? So like activating your throat. I think we've discussed this during the witch workshop as well. Weren't you the one asking about the throat?
Yeah. I did.
Well, there you go. There you go. We're back at the, we're back to the throat.
I've done that because I went into your book for the North Star, and I've done some of the meditation you have on Spotify. Like I've done all these wonderful things, which I love. It's getting better. It's not there yet, but it's better. I felt the same throat, like being blocked, or some kind of funny and not pleasant feeling when you said send the love to that, thing. And I'm like, oh my God, anyway, and my right shoulder hurts today for some reason.
Yeah.
But Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Then I'll comment.
Yes. And my kind of important question with the wings, how can I, if I may, use them to kind of ask to help to get rid of the feeling, or how when you grow up, they say like to be shy and humble and modest, like modesty is just like almost like praised from place where I went, I came from. So that's actually blocking me and, not helping me in what I do. Can I use my wings to ask to just kind of let me be?
Yes. So you can anytime you need an adjustment in any of the three chakras, yellow, green, or blue, you can ask your wings for assistance. Now, they may not give you the healing in the way that you're asking or in the way that you're expecting, but they will give you the healing. In other words, they may pump through the energy into your blue center and then give you a challenge to overcome. It may happen. Like wings are, like I said, they have a consciousness of their own, and they can put a particular test or challenge or something in front of you where you're going to have to overcome it. But yes, they're definitely naturally. What I would do for you is ask your wings to always accumulate the energies that you need for healing your throat and harmonizing that, like modesty and, calm and like don't say much and like women should not be heard type of situation. And maybe seen, but maybe not even that. And like I'll literally every morning take the energy that your wings have accumulated overnight, put them in your throat. And like that alone is going to be like a balm and like a soothing balm. So that's what they're showing me right now for you as a practice.
Okay. Yes, awesome. Because with everything that I do, I feel like I don't want to really be seen. I want to be private, but then with my practices, I have to be public, and that's a little of an obstacle. Yeah, it's just
well, that's the challenge. That's the challenge that you set out for yourself, and you thought it was going to be a fun game to play. So enjoy.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on. Thank you so much, Lana. All right, mute. Next, Mayra Del Bello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you, Sergey. Thank you, Mariya. That was so beautiful. I have a question. Like one quick question is just if you would confirm what you see my wings looking like, and then a main question.
Yeah. Do you want me to confirm, or do you want me to tell you?
Tell me. Yeah.
Well, yours I'm seeing a very angelic.
Okay.
Yeah. Very white, very feathery, very big.
Okay. And I was going to also share this little during our break. I remembered this little friend that joined me very recently. Decided to come into our circle.
That's a fairy.
I know. Well, that's the thing is, I actually saw my wings be fairy. I've gotten so many like signs from the Fae kingdom. So I was like, okay.
You have fairy wings also. I don't see them as your primary wings. I see them as the third ones over.
I have 3.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
The other one in between looks very raven, black.
Okay. I had no idea. See, I thought that it's funny because I even asked my pendulum if I had any wings yet at all, and I got a no. So I'm
Well, the one that I see activated right now is the first layer, the white one, the white feathery one. And then the two ones, they're like in somewhat dormant phases. Within a year though.
okay.
See them within a year.
So by the way, just I had sort of tears and laughter come through the meditation. It was really nice. Yeah, especially first one when I realized it was kind of me keeping myself back from receiving this activation. So my other question was about when you were talking about the axis. Is the central axis the same as the central channel? And if someone has like the central channel, like the Sushumna Nadi, like I have a client that has their central channel that isn't rooted down all the way down into the root chakra. It's misaligned. And how to bring that like into alignment and like fully rooted.
Are you talking about the wings or are you talking about the central channel
The
specifically?
central channel. And because could you even get your wings if that's not aligned?
Yes, you could. It's just like you're gonna have 4 axes instead of 3. But yes, in the ideal world, shall I say, the perfect blueprint is when your central axis of the wings is the same as that central axis in your body, which flows through the spinal cord. There can be a misalignment, like not on the wings. The wings usually are dead center, but like with people, if their central axis is misaligned to the side, I would be asking, why is that the case and how is that serving them? Because that means that it's almost like their assemblage point is perpetually shifted compared to everybody else. And so how she's going to be seeing the world is very different. So it could be an ailment or it could be a blessing. I wouldn't be so quick trying to fix it, is my point.
Okay.
I would try to see if that gives her a superpower of some sort. And for her, I strongly sense that it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Next, Christina Bucci.
Hi, Mariya. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
I was wondering how many, do I have more than one set of wings? And if so, are they more like butterfly wings or dragon wings, or what do they look like?
I'm sensing you have more than one also. Your primary one is very fairy to me. It looks like the fairy. It's like a mix between fairy and butterfly, maybe. But like I would definitely read it as fairy. You have the dragon one next one over. And that one's very massive and spiky and protective, but also it could be offensive, like as in like you can be on the offensive. You can be like, okay, I can go and like make it happen.
Okay, and can you have a broken wing? And if
Yes.
so, what's that all about?
Oh, this is like a very deep question because if you have a broken wing, it's a fissure at your higher self level. Because remember, that's the energy of your higher self. So your higher self chose to send you a broken wing is what happens. And it's because it wants you to mend it. And it is your job to figure out what creates the fissure. And in this particular, did you see one of your wings broken?
Well, I was having so much pain on my left side. I was the one that had said that my throat was hurting. By the way, that's gone. But my left side last night especially, which I've had before, but it started up so intently last night that I thought, well, maybe I have a broken left wing. And it was more closer to the kidney area.
Yeah.
So
this one actually points to the issues on the lineage for your mom's side. So it's a mom's lineage. So there's a little bit of healing and a little bit of liberation that needs to happen on that side of the lineage. And and somehow they appointed you to do it is why you're feeling and sensing that. So they've appointed you as the healer of the women in your mom's lineage, and like you're meant to liberate them. And because like they appear a little bit caged and a little bit unsure and a little bit like it's almost like they're sleeping a life, like you know, it's like this wakeful, they're not fully here is what I'm sensing. And like you're meant to be the jolt of like, no, like let's arrive. There's so much power in this lineage, like let's get this going. And that's what comes through, you know, with the pain.
Wow. And you know, when you were talking about, this is not any of the classes that you've had, but I watched one of your videos on the teeth. And then I started speaking to my lineage, and I went, you know, on both sides, both parents' sides, their parents, and kept going back. And ever since that, my teeth stopped hurting. But ever since that, it's like all of a sudden I'm signing up for this course. I had taken the witches course, you know, and so they're speaking to me and I'm like, wow, like I've just been so busy.
Yes, now they know you're listening and they're giving you actual tasks to do instead of just messages to like through the teeth. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Steve.
Hi, thank you. I had a lot of pain in my left side as well, and I'm just wondering if I had a lot of imagination going, and I got like 3 or 4 different sets, I thought, but I didn't know which ones were more prominent. So I just wanted to see if you can confirm what what you.
Yeah, the most prominent that I'm seeing on you are dragon wings, actually. Very powerful, very powerful, protective. And they're showing me that you do need a lot of protection in order for you to come out of the shell. Like you need to feel like, yes, like somebody bigger than you has got you, right? So like that's why they gave you this like very massive protective wings. And then in terms of the pain on the left side, I'm actually sensing something with your mom. Not that we have the capacity to go into it right now, but check out my video maybe on the mother relationship healing. There is definitely something there for you to heal on the feminine side.
Okay, so it's just the one set?
Well, no, it's the one set that's the most prominent. I also see you having canary yellow wings. Canary yellow bird wings, and like that's actually a really big expression of what your spirit wants to do as a divine child. So like that second set of wings that's canary yellow is very happy-go-lucky and just like a child of God, like instead of like struggling and just meant to like receive things. So like those canary yellow wings are just supposed to make things easier for you, like so that it's not such a grind and it's not such like you don't have to work so hard on certain things. You just like can come into your auric field and be.
All right, but there's nothing broken. It's just like regular.
No, most of you are not going to have broken wings, but sometimes the reason you feel the pain is because there is a blockage on that side, and your wing is calling for you to rise up and elevate the energies. And so sometimes your wings, before coming out, they're going to point to the part of your body that has a weakness or a distortion, and it's going to be like, hey, pay attention over here. Go and heal this so I can be my most radiant self as a wing. Does that make sense? So like they're a messenger too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, let's take 2 more. And I think that would be it for today. Let's go with, let me see, Roxana.
Wow, thank you so much. I wanted to state 3 things. Thank you for blowing up my life in the best way possible. Thank you for being a way shower. Yes, very much so. And also I want to thank you for actually being so accessible. My 3 questions are, 1, yes, is it cobalt blue wings? And then I see like red dragon wings. Is that about accurate?
The red dragon wings are very prominent. Sorry, I'm like scrolling through. I lost your, oh, there you are. I lost your face because like sometimes they're just like these things shift. The red dragon wings are very, very prominent. You also have a beautiful set of black wings that are very protective, but they're like, I don't think those are out yet. Those are in the future. You're going to enjoy that. That's a future gift. They look black with like a blue sheen. Also not quite raven, but definitely feels like a bird of prey, like they're going to help you focus, like focus as in like just you know how birds of prey, they're like focus on what they want and they're just go for it like with full force, that kind of focus, like focusing your energy stream and like going after what you want. The dragon is definitely there. Hold on, I am seeing there's a lot of bird energy around you, like you have a lot of bird wings, even like that's just the energy that you have. There are blue ones, but they're not cobalt blue, they're giving me like the Hawaiian bird type of vibe. So like a very feminine, effervescent kind of like light. And that's actually a very feminine energy, despite the fact that blue is usually the blue ray and the blue of Michael, but yours is more turquoise, if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense to you.
No, it does.
Okay. I lost your face too. It ran away.
All right. And then the other two questions is one, how do I serve as a way shower, in the sense that how do I make sure that those wings are very apparent and people can see it, and that it subconsciously pulls them to kind of want to raise their energy and move in that direction?
I don't think the point of wings is for them to be very apparent. I actually think of wings as a secret weapon. I'm totally cool with nobody knowing what my wings are, to be honest, because you know, they are meant to be a little bit more covert. And by the way, even if you have the wings that are out, depending on people's level of access, they may not be able to see them, and that's totally normal. As long as they're there, as long as they're out, and as long as they're activated. And going back to like, it's like you have your chakras, right? Like one, you know, and you're born with your chakras, and the chakras are working in the background for you. You don't have to wake up in the morning and like plug your red chakra into like the electric outlet, and only then your red chakra is activated. Same thing with the wings, like they're like just a part of who you are now. And they're working 24/7, and people are going to feel that there's something more, like there's more of you, that you feel maybe lighter, especially over time, the more these wings become activated. And it's not like you necessarily don't have to flaunt it. It's just like you are going to feel and read differently energetically with the wings. I hope this helps.
Absolutely. Sorry, one last question. I do a lot of public speaking. You're in the public sphere. Like, how do you can use those wings to protect yourself? And do you do it the whole time that you're public speaking?
100%, yes. So like I said, wings are already activated. Sorry, they're already protective. If you want them to be even more protective, you can imagine like covering your head with them, if that makes sense. Like I'm showing with my hands. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm showing, but like before you go on stage, imagine that like your wings are out, you fully activate them. You definitely want to activate the 3 axes, because that powers the wings. And then you kind of like cover your head with the wings. Not your face, and not the front, but the head. And that is going to really amplify the protective shield, while still enabling you to be impactful as a speaker. Because if you cover your front, your message cannot come through in the most powerful way, right? So you just want to protect from the top, and then the wings are going to do the rest. Thank you.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. And the last one, Andrea Cole.
Hello, I'm trying to find you, Mariya, your face.
I know. I don't know. Where did I go?
I have no idea. Does anyone know where Mariya is? I need to look at you.
I can spotlight 1 second.
Yes, please.
I was asking, I got to read back the questions, but I felt it was, this had started for me a while ago when I was bringing through spirit. I am a medium. I've been speaking to spirit since the age of 4. But I finally came out of the spiritual closet about 5-6 years ago, and thank God. Anyways, when I was bringing through spirit quite a few months ago, I kept getting the name Mariya with a Y. And so that's how I was led to you. And when I came to you, a lot of the information that I get in my private automatic writing matches up very much, you know? So anyways, what I wanted to say is thank you. I'm glad to finally meet you, and you have the chat in your face, but thank you so much. And I feel like when my wings were coming out, it almost was like a painful process, but it's been happening. And I want to know if you see them fully, because I feel like there's more than one, but be honest. I feel heavy. And I will say that I feel like all the points in them are like my crown and my column, you know, it like holds information. It kind of balances it for me, it seems like now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes. So yours a periwinkle, kind of very similar to your shirt that you're wearing. A little bit maybe more like, but very similar in the color.
Okay.
And they read as a mix between a bird and an angel wing to me. And maybe they're both, and like maybe they don't have to be one or the other. They're a hybrid.
Yeah.
I sense your right one is not fully out yet. It's like the left one came out, which is already like a big win, yay. Your right one, that's the whole closet, like still wanting to be in the closet a little bit, even though you're out, you're kind of like, you know, trying to be half pregnant a little bit, like one leg out and the other leg is back in the closet.
I've been out for a while. I've been out since the 70s to my family, so.
Okay, yeah, but there's also, it feels like there are layers, right? There are concentric circles, and what they want you to step into is that whole other level of visibility outside of invisibility, right? So like it's almost like you think you've seen it, you haven't seen it, is what they're telling me. You haven't seen what you're meant to be yet. And you know, what I'm thinking for you with that right wing is, yeah, probably parts work and understanding. There are 3 aspects of you that don't want this to happen: 2 male, 1 female. So just work on those 3, and once you do, your wing is going to come out fully. It's like 73% out.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost there.
Through you, I also found out I'm not only a 6, I'm a 33.
Oh my God, look at that. Well, okay. Well, that makes sense. That they're like, you haven't seen it yet.
Well, I would say, can you make a video on what life path number you are? Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrea.
Bye, guys.
All right. Well, let's take one last one, Sergey.
One last. All right.
Let's do one
let's
last
do
one.
one last.
Yeah.
Let's see. Emma Grace. Do we have Emma? Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Can you see me? I can't see myself.
Hard to
It's
find.
really
I don't know,
hard.
Zoom behaves in a weird way.
This is the first time I've used Zoom.
Well, oh, I can see you, Emma, and I can hear you, I
can
think.
see
Yes. You have the green background. Yes. Okay. I can see you.
Yeah. Did both of mine come out?
Yes.
The kind of they did, yeah.
Yes, I'm seeing both of them.
Are they gold?
They are, I would call,
Like white is gold?
yeah, like opal almost. Like opal, if opal was the white opal, if it had like a yellow glare. So yes, like kind of, I guess, between the mix between gold and white.
Okay, cool. Cool. My question was, can we use the wings to like channel energy to kind of heal our ancestral lines? Can we use them for ancestral healing?
1,000,000,000%. So the practice they're showing me right now is, imagine like whichever lineage you want to work on, imagine that's a river. And you can do on both of them. Meaning your right, the river to your right is going to be your dad's lineage. The river to your left is going to be your mom's lineage. You allow your wings to accumulate the energy that your higher self knows is needed for the healing of the lineage. Then you drop a wing in the water, and you do it one at a time. So you drop your right wing into the water, into your dad's lineage. And so you drop from the accumulation point where the wing has been accumulating energy for healing, you drop it into the tip of the wing, you discharge that healing energy. And you keep doing that a few times, like infusing the river of that lineage with that water that needs to come, that energy that needs to come through from your higher self. And you should do that a few times until the water in the river changes. Something about it is going to start changing. Either the color, maybe it's going to start feeling lighter, maybe it's going to start glowing, glimmering, whatever. Maybe it's going to start, like, you're just going to notice that there is a cleanup process. So you can do that. And then you do the rest, like, then you do another accumulation. Like, what I mean by that is, like, then you go back to your center. Once you healed your dad's lineage, go back to your center. Remember that you have 3 axes, right? flush it out. You want to get back into the state of zero, flush it out with energy. It's golden energy, usually from your higher self. Then charge your wing, accumulate the energy in your left wing, drop it into the water, discharge that energy, and then watch what happens with your mom's lineage as well. But that's the practice. Thank you for bringing it up. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no worries.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Well, thank you all for being such troopers and sticking around for a whole hour and a half extra. A lot of your wings are out, and even if they haven't, they're going to come out in the next few days. You're like, I believe this. There is still work that's going to be happening in the process for all of you. They're looking beautiful. A lot of fairy wings, actually, now that I'm seeing a lot of fairy energy now. Sending you a big virtual hug.
Thank you. I
all.
really had a question that I really would like to have answered, but I guess I didn't get my turn.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, feel free to email me and I'll try to get to it, but no promises. I'll try. I'll do my best effort.
Appreciate it so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
All right.
so
Thank you,
much.
guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you on the next
Thank
one.
you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.